he's a Bears fan. It was both my
Thank God. All the wrongs that I've done in my life, all the things that I've seen in my life, but I'm standing right here right now. I wanna thank God for the trouble that I done caused, all the love that I done lost, but I'm standing right here right now. I wanna thank God.
I just wanna say
Thank God. I just wanna say thank you. I just wanna say thank you.
I just wanna say
Thank God. Thank God.
Yo, they really waiting at the end of this house.
when I lost my brother, didn't know what to do. And then I lost my daughter. I came running back to you, you picked me back up. You said I always got your back, son. I will never let you down. So if ever you're alone, know that I'm always around. You won't do this on your own, know that feeling is profound. And that's when you find the energy that G in you is called. Keep the peace and free some people's hearts. Teach them all that they can reach the stars. Even still, we can defeat the odds. Now I see the harder they hit, the harder I go. Ain't no interrupting my life or stopping the flow. Finally found a God that's within and I let it show. When I know the reason behind it, and you should know I gotta thank God.
Thank God. All the wrongs that I've done in my life, all the things that I've seen in my life, but I'm standing right here right now. I wanna thank God for the trouble that I done caused, all the love that I done lost, but I'm standing right here right now. I wanna thank God. Thank God. I just wanna say thank you. I just wanna say thank you. Thank God.
Looking for some passion, looking for some soul. You distracting, I was going for my goals. Worry about you less, cause you always do the most. Back me down to stress, but I leave that in a post, yeah. Same old story, y'all done read that. Novel, not enjoying that I wrote this about you. What a pressure to the chest, huh? I was drowning when I found out the message in the bottle. See, I admit it. I know the journey seemed obscene, I went to get it. Of course your thoughts in sync, with eyes paused, don't blink. Your mama only wanna see what your eyes let it think. Way past far, past par anomaly. Believe that I'm that far, then I received the utmost concrete achievement for it all. It's me who I saw, I gotta thank God. Yeah. Thank God.
The belief in myself has now consumed me. Everything mentioned outside of my purpose, I crave and escape from. I rebuke time wasted, for I know it brings opportunity for opposition to attack. Moments of yesterday's comfort are now torturous tricks used to distract me, but I can't fathom a mundane mindset. Now supreme, I see my success in every opportunity. Although I die each day, I walk in resurrection. The evolution has set in.
I'm serious.
Like God, I know what I am.
How do they really know?
Thank God.
My daughter paid for it. Everybody always asks me if I like Asian in me, and I don't. My mom's white. She's old white. Like, for my both her parents were from Ireland. She's like Irish. My father's black. So like, nobody sees me. When my daughter did her answer, she did her name. It said that there was like, which means that if I did it,
Thank God so much. Why you had to lick his lips like that? What the fuck was that? I noticed every since he became the narrator of the fucking topics, this nigga get this fucking
Thank God.
was like,
But I'm
he thought about
standing right
that.
here right now. I wanna thank God for the trouble that I done caused, all the love that I done lost.
Well, I'm trying to see what you're gonna say.
I wanna thank God, thank God.
What you gonna say?
Thank God, thank God, thank God. I just wanna say thank you. I just wanna say thank you.
I just wanna say
Thank God, thank God, thank God.
thank you.
Yeah.
When I lost my brother, didn't know what to do. And then I lost my daughter. I came running back to you, you picked me back up. You said I always got your back, son. I will never let you down. So if ever you're alone, know that I'm always around. You won't do this on your own, know that feeling is profound. And that's when you find the energy that G in you is God. Keep the peace and free some people's hearts. Teach them all that they can reach the stars. Even still, we can defeat the odds. Now I see the harder they hit, the harder I go. Ain't no interrupting my life or stopping the flow. Finally found a God just within and I let it show. When I know the reason behind it, and you should know I gotta thank God.
Thank God. All the wrongs that I've done in my
He ain't
life,
say nothing.
all the things that I've seen in my life. But I'm standing right here right now. I wanna thank God for the trouble that I.
Hey, what's the topics, nigga? Like, what we talking about today? Hold on, no. Yo, can you put on 30 seconds? I need 30 seconds.
What?
Crafty.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Jodeci.
Jodeci.
Where's my
I'm in my
son?
feelings right now.
Why are you in your feelings?
Everything is hot. This is
There's
a
a lot
bad
of stuff
week.
going on.
It's a bad week for everybody.
Jodeci's gonna be there.
Jodeci's gonna, like,
Make
don't
it
you,
better?
do you get it? When you get into like your emotional
I
bag,
got
cry
it.
for you.
I got it.
When you get into your emotional bag, what do you go to?
Mary J.
Boom, I go with Joe. I go with this guy.
When you emotional?
Yeah. I'm living on the edge.
Jodeci's like baby making music. I
Right.
don't
No.
know.
I was gonna say this is like baby. Like
Listen to the
somebody
words.
get pregnant. No, man, listen to the words.
I can't live without you. I'm crying for you. Listen,
You got Sheila in here dancing. You over there looking like a
Oh,
fan
yeah.
puppy.
Yeah.
You Castle confused.
all right, cut it.
So you telling me when
What the hell
you
is going
when
on?
you emotional, you go to Jodeci.
Yes.
Where do you go to?
I go to Vivian Green emotional roller coaster.
Okay, all right.
24.
But he says that he hasn't gone out to any bars and shit clubs.
Where do you go to?
My mom listens to the show.
Like, get emotional like that.
I mean,
This nigga, man.
He's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
You get to your bag when you get emotional. Come on.
But you got like angry music, like you throw on DMX and shit.
Uncle Murder.
Oh, there
What
you go.
the
He
fuck?
can answer that question.
Murder.
All right, cut this shit. All right, so
so you telling me, nigga, you just don't feel blue once in a while.
I mean, like, if I'm like on some,
Like, nigga, your puppy just
You
died.
never
What you
get
listening
sad.
to?
it's a fucking pet. Why would you call it
Pet is like your family.
that? No,
Yeah, people love their pets.
Yo, you
I'm
ain't.
looking at him like,
Like that's weird.
Gus was a nigga that
People
buried
become
his own
attached.
dog.
yo, I believe Casso like made a fucking like but back in the day, he was probably like 11 or 12. He was a nigga in the backyard making all type of fucking forts and shit and bury shit in and kill things nobody never even knew. Like, that's how your attitude is. Like, your attitude, like, you make club tree houses
He
and
said
shit.
you real cold.
Yo, you
Just
was,
cold ass nigga,
you was
man.
a cold murderer.
Cold ass nigga on the mall. Show
That
up.
nigga murdered.
there's 2 times in my life that I like really went in and cried. When Will Smith got shot, I think I was like 10. And it was an episode of, not an episode, it was a movie. It
On
was,
Fresh Prince?
Yeah. He was at like
I know
bank.
the episode. I know the episode.
The one that
My
makes you
mom-
cry is one where his father didn't come back to get him.
Nah.
On Fresh
Why
Prince.
you don't want me?
What?
Yeah,
That was emotional still when I watched the little
and
skit.
I'm not gonna say it wasn't emotional, but like I actually like my mom had to come in the room and grab me.
Wait, I don't even remember him getting shot.
When
He got shot
him
when
and
he was,
Carlton
him
at
and
the
Carlton
ATM.
was at the ATM and dude tried to rob him. Got shot.
I don't remember that. I must have missed that one.
So it was that.
No,
and
I
it
thought
was this
Carlton got
karate
shot.
movie where this dude brother died in the ring
Oh God.
during a karate bout. I used to be heavy in the karate when I was little. So but like them noisy times like I really bought out.
You do karate?
Used to, like,
Oh.
I got to a certain point.
He was a
to stop.
cold blood murderer.
And nigga fucking grab your arms and cut your shit right off, yo,
Nah, I don't
and
know
walk
about
away.
that. I might throw a kick and my leg fall off or some shit. No.
Yo,
Yeah, man was cold blooded.
I just, yeah, man. You know, it's been a long weekend. I know you're gonna get into it, so I'll let somebody go first before I get emotional.
Siobhan,
Yeah.
how was your weekend? What did you do this weekend?
My weekend was good.
Doorbell.
My weekend was real
All
good.
right, how's that? Hold on.
Ooh, yeah.
That's him.
You're everything I need.
Well, then we could just do things then.
That's what they sound like.
What's going on? Did you want to be R&B dude at one point in your life?
What's up, buddy?
I feel like you probably.
I just like singing. I can't sing
Your
for shit.
little brother dancing in the back.
Yeah, I was that nigga that was just always in the video.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
I was just that nigga that was always in the video.
What up?
They don't even know about the 98, 99.
That's what I'm saying. That's
You know?
back Riverside when I was a kid, right?
Siobhan.
I'm pulling this
You
shit.
want to sit them right there, or
You was doing the interview first or we gonna finish?
let's finish this? We can get through this. You ain't gotta be home, do you?
Nah, I'm
All right.
good.
We a little bit late. We a little
Nah,
bit
I'm
late.
good
Man.
money.
All right.
Ricky and her playing around and shit.
Yeah, first of all, I'm not playing around. I'm emotional. I just ain't showing it yet.
We see it. No, you showed it.
Not emotional.
Yeah.
I got you.
That's great.
Yo, we talking that shit, ripped jeans, man. Yo, the next time you come over here with some ripped jeans, I'm gonna tell you about. Yo,
I'm gonna wear some 25. Why can't he wear
yo, that's the point.
It's
No,
cold.
25 is cold as fuck outside.
Yeah, true.
It's
Facts.
cold.
It just started getting
White.
When it's cold.
Now he's white.
Blood
Now he's
murder.
white.
She said I'm white.
But then he talking about I'm cold and it's cold in here. Nigga, your knees is
My
cold.
legs ain't cold, nigga. My upper body was.
Where you think the cold air coming from? It's hitting there and it's creeping up.
It's coming from back here.
You know what? Yeah. You ain't starting all the way over, is you?
Nah.
And then fucking cut your shit right off, yo, and walk away.
I might throw a kick and my leg fall off or some shit.
Yo,
Yeah, man was cold blooded.
I just, before we start, I know.
Yeah.
All right, check it out. So, get to these topics, man. We gotta get to these weekends.
We was on Siobhan, dog. How was your
Hold on,
weekend?
pause. We wasn't on Siobhan.
Yes, we was.
She was about to tell us over again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah, with y'all.
Exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
Like, yeah. My weekend was chill. I just chilled on Friday. Saturday, I started out thinking I wanted to go to a Halloween party. I tried to put an outfit together. I couldn't. I went out, felt like an old lady. Everybody else was in their outfits. And me and my girlfriend drank and we went home. I didn't really do nothing. I was real chill. Real chill.
So you didn't watch the 90s?
I watched one episode of the 90s and
That
I
shit
did
is
it. I
boring
lived
as
through
Nobody
it.
watched
That is really hard to get through. Like I was really trying with you because I lived through it. Like I could probably talk about it even
That
though
shit
I
is
ain't
worse
watched
than them
it.
old documentaries.
It was. It's the
history
boring.
class.
It's very slow.
So she can sit there and watch the Bills get their ass kicked.
I didn't. I'm here with
90s?
y'all. They get their ass kicked right now. I just wore my sweatshirt in support of them.
I didn't watch Paint Dry.
You never watched Paint Yo,
I just wore my
stop.
sweatshirt for support. I'm not watching
I get
the
it.
game.
I get it. So that's all you did.
Yeah, I really didn't. It wasn't very eventful. I was chill.
I say we lived through the 90s. We don't want to go back.
Just trying to.
Facts.
Well, I'm wait till it get to me. Go ahead, man.
Casa, what you do this weekend?
No, what you
We
do?
gonna skip Ricky.
No.
I'm conducting this shit right now. Casa,
Every
what
time
you
he's going with shit.
I was chilling. Bowling on Saturday. Bowling on Sunday.
Damn,
Where you bowl
love
at?
bowling. Oh, that's
I
your whole
hope if I'm
weekend.
nice.
Where do you
No,
bowl
you do
at?
it all weekend.
Kenmore Airport.
Oh, you everywhere.
Do you drink while you bowl?
No.
It's a serious thing. Okay, you
I
drink
can't even eat while I
He
bowl.
bowl
That's
bowl.
from like.
Yeah,
Bowl.
He bowl.
Right.
I ain't going with you. Don't do the
I
couple
can still
things that
have
Rick
fun.
come out and bowl.
I
I'm
can
not
still
bowling.
have fun too, though.
Ricky drank
Alright,
at 2
cool.
o'clock.
Like,
Saturday.
after I'm up and I went about
Drunk
points, I
as
might
hell.
throw it between my legs or around my back or something like that. But I mean, I'm up by 100 pins.
See, you type of nigga that get the basketball court.
Listen, Listen, I'm up by 100 before I'm fucking around, cuz.
Yo, you type of nigga be at the basketball court, come in full Jordan gear.
Nah, we don't pick him up.
That's how he do
He
it
gotta stay on the
both.
sideline.
That's how he go both.
That nigga never get picked up. Listen, you come to the park with a sleeve on, bro, you not getting picked up. Don't come to the park with no sleeve on, no headband. Bro, just wear your basketball shorts and a t-shirt.
I'm
That's
saying,
it.
if I still got like bone fragments in my elbow, I'm trying to protect my shit.
Just sit your ass down.
Yo, I know I don't want to get off topic, but yo, the nigga who comes in with the sweatpants on and the hoodie,
Yeah.
he giving you fucking buckets.
Right.
Like he gonna give you, and his sneakers not even laced.
Listen, I don't trust nobody that come to the court padded up like Carmelo.
They out there.
I can't fuck with you. You
It's
padded up
what-
like
what's that
Carmelo,
shit?
dog.
Entertainer shit?
Carmelo got
I'm
rib
out
cages
there
on.
swinging out his stick, just waiting to hit somebody.
Carmelo come
Yo.
playing with rib cages on, bro. I can't
I'm sorry to
fuck
get
with
off topic about that, but I just thinking about you at bowling with all your shit on, and they like, yo, he ain't playing, he ain't got a drink in his hand. Everybody got beer and shit.
I'm an asshole when I'm
He probably got a polo on.
That shit.
He got
he got
his
smile-
rag.
You know,
You got-
no
he got
smile
his
on my
rag,
face, nothing.
polo,
His
Yeah,
hand
yeah,
over the
shoes.
blower.
marble ball with his name on
His
it.
hand over the blower.
Hand over the blower.
I
Gotta
can't
make
even say
sure
nothing because that's how I go to it.
got his
You know
tongue.
how you like to get your
Wipe the
rhythm?
ball off. Got
You at the free throw line, you gotta get your rhythm. That's all I am. I'm over here wiping my hand off.
Oh my
Like, no, you
God.
go ahead.
He got his own little
rich.
rich roll. He shimmy, zip his pants
Yo.
up, click both heels, then bowl.
Yeah.
Trying to be the Kobe Bryant of bowling.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
What about you?
No, Sheen.
What did I do this weekend?
Grass pizza.
Fuck you. I went to Party City. Didn't buy a costume for my daughter. That line was way too fucking long.
You waited, dumb.
I know.
Halloween, like what, 3 days?
She not going trick or treating.
Oh, you fucking wild.
She don't need no fucking
Bad
candy.
daddy of the year.
You need the candy. What do you mean? That's an excuse for you to go out there and.
I got little brothers and sisters.
You gonna go take things.
I'm
Yeah,
robbing
listen,
everybody.
More
dog.
than merrier. What you mean?
I robbed I don't need the candy either though, but I'm robbing
Yeah, she gets
everybody.
with their bags.
You ain't
I got drunk Saturday, you know, like Ricky always say, go get my bottle, set in the house. I did that.
Rick be drunk by like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
There's a big
I
difference.
did that. My mans came from out of town. Talking about military life, you know, them niggas drink. He was done off of 2 drinks. Throwing up and shit already. I'm like, come on, bro.
Off of 2?
Off of 2. Off of
Nigga, I was focused to drive with the 2 drinks.
Yeah.
What you drinking, a lighter?
What was it, fucking Pandora, fucking
Bone Crusher.
Bone Crusher? Fuck.
He was, nigga said, yo, you know, that military life, dog, that's all we do is drink when we ain't on the base. This nigga took 2 drinks, dog, and was asleep.
Yeah, Fort Loco?
Damn, still reserve?
Gave him stomach rub.
Yeah, that nigga had a still reserve.
Listen,
Get the fuck out of here.
other than that,
That's
dog,
terrible.
Other than that, I chilled, man.
Chill. Cool.
Ricky, what you do this weekend?
I Ubered. I have no stories this week. It's pretty chill.
So I can scratch story time out.
Yeah. I got drunk off of that fireball that I won at the
You
job.
just drink
How you get
Fireball?
drunk on Fireball?
I was just taking shots. Yo, you know what I
It's like
watched?
cinnamon syrup.
Yes.
Like I don't.
You know what I watched? Have y'all
Is that
seen
the college
Sicario
drink? Yeah. I seen that.
Part 2?
What is it?
It's
I
called
seen
Sicario
part 1. I
movie.
need to watch part 2 tonight.
No.
That was my
Don't
game
know what
plan for
that's
the night.
about.
Oh shit, this movie.
It's a
It's
Mexican
called
cartel
Sicario.
movie.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay.
When I tell y'all,
Serious.
It's on Netflix?
You can block off 3 hours of your time though, but it's joint serious.
Is it on Netflix?
It's on Netflix?
it's on demand on
Showtime?
Regular TV.
on
HBO?
Like you gotta order it.
Shit, I don't know.
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I ain't got,
No,
I
but
ain't
we
got
gotta
no
watch the first one. The first one is on
I got
demand
$5.99.
and it's free.
Watch this
The other
movie.
one is $5.99. But listen,
We're gonna wait
I
for
was
this
sitting
Netflix.
there watching Sicario, and I hit y'all. I was like, you know what? Ain't no kids in this house. And I'm on my phone. Threw the phone down after I text y'all. Let me watch this goddamn movie and not text nobody else. And what did I do?
Fall asleep.
Fall asleep.
Oh, you gonna say you got up and over?
Just like a dad.
No, man, I fell asleep. Woke up, and guess what? kids in the house.
And just like a fucking dad. Just like a dad.
Y'all was tight. Damn. Yeah. But I wanted to finish the car while everybody went to bed. It was good. That was my
He
thing.
wasn't walking through the house like Kevin Hart.
I wanted to. I got this one. I got in the house and nobody was there. I was like, shit. No, man. Shit, laptop broke. I ain't got no candles.
No way. You got the cell phone though. Let's see your browser history.
Let's see your browser history.
I say unlock that shit.
Yeah, y'all ain't gonna see my browser history. So, what we got next? When it rains, it pours.
What do you elaborate, please, for the people?
So when shit
It's a
happens,
stressful situation. Like shit just keep pounding and pounding and pounding.
Okay, but
building up on
you know, a lot of people interpret shit differently. Like
what do you interpret as?
How would you say that?
shit. I mean,
when
if
it
you're
rains,
having a
that
bad
rains,
day, you just having a bad day. It just get worse.
So that's all it is.
That's what that is.
Okay, I mean, you know, motherfuckers just. Y'all niggas.
So you never heard the term
Yo.
when it rains, it pours?
Make me
nigga?
jump over this table.
So you might rip all them damn fucking. You might rip all them damn fucking
Yeah.
jeans that's left in them threads, nigga. It's over.
Yo, Rick,
I don't want you doing that.
I don't want you to raise your arms because your belly button might show in that little ass shit. Stop fucking with me today.
Yo, man. When it rains, it pours. What do it mean to you? Picasso. Is this guy?
What you mean this guy? I just said it. When shit
No.
keep compiling on you,
Uh,
and you just
anything has
can't-
happened to you that were it compiled? And how did you handle it?
I mean, I've had a bunch of situations where shit just kept getting worse and worse, but I mean, at the end of the day, you just gotta try to see the positive light and understand that you're gonna get through it. I was always taught that no matter how bad shit gets, how you handle it determines how you are as a man.
Ooh, preach.
So,
Alright. What about you,
that's my
Shimon?
outlook on it.
Do what?
Have you ever had a situation where
I mean, I'm sure everybody has. I mean, I try, like how he said it, I don't really try to stress over everything. I mean, usually if something bad happens, I usually expect something else to come with it, so you just gotta prep your mind and be ready for the bullshit.
so she preps her mind for it and you I'm trying to go back, I'm trying to bring this all together. She preps her mind for the situation and prepares for it and you just keep a positive outlook.
Well, I mean, that's
on
still
whatever
mental
it is.
preparation, though.
No, but I'm just saying this is positive. You're taking positive from it. She's going, I'm expecting something else to come behind this. And cool.
Right.
Yeah, because instead of being blindsided, because you're like, okay, we got blindsided the first time. So you're like, okay, let me prepare, because there's probably going to be something else that's going to happen next.
Mm.
And if it doesn't, you're happy. So your expectation is like, yes.
Yeah, but at the same time, when you,
When you're ready for it, you're like,
all
alright.
right, nah, I'm gonna get myself out of this,
Right.
or how I'm gonna handle the situation.
Mm. Expectations is the mother of disappointment. Have you ever heard that?
I just saw that today. You just saw that on Instagram.
You seen it on my Instagram because that's why I mean you seen that on my Facebook.
Okay, that's it. I knew some. I seen it today. I knew it was coming from
See,
somewhere.
see, I'm a rapper too, Rain. You know what I'm saying? Just in a different light. I'm a rapper too. No. Anyways,
I rap too, cuz.
Check this out.
We gonna
Check
talk,
this
we gonna
out.
talk after this, though.
No, the reason why I talk about that, I mean, obviously the episode is called Rain, right? It's been raining for the last probably 7 days, maybe.
That shit is like an eerie feeling. Like I'm just waiting for the snow to come on top of that shit.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna go to a situation with me that's there, that's personal, but I'm gonna share it. You know, October is a tough month for my family. And it always seems as if when it gets to a point to where it's got that eerie feeling that something's gonna happen. So I too stay positive, but also expect things to get worse. And things have. And I stay strong with it. But, so does Mike. But I think what has come out of it right now at this point is that I don't think anything will get any worse. You know, from my situation, and I think it's up. So when I was listening to you guys tell it, y'all kind of gave me therapy on how you handle it. So I thought about that before I came. I'm like, man, am I just like cold-hearted, like how you are in the beginning of certain things, or am I just way too emotional? So I'm kind of stuck in the middle where I think like you and I think like you.
That's a healthy place, though.
So
But I think as sometimes, like us as men, we go through that phase where like, all right, I gotta be tough, but at the same time, like, I still feel shit at the same time, but you be scared to let it out because you don't want to be taken. You want that to take on you in a negative way.
That's because for men, I always tell people this, when you're a little kid and you fall, your dad doesn't let you cry. Your dad, everybody's like, get up, pick up, brush it off, do this, do that. Now, if I fall, I'm allowed to cry. So men have this thing where it's almost like a form of weakness, but it really messes everybody up later on in life. So you don't know how to show emotion because you feel weak showing emotion.
Right.
And I always tell people that because it's very unhealthy. So if you have sons, let them know they're allowed to cry and show their emotion because later on, it makes everybody ice boxes.
I say you just cry after the game, not on the field.
You know, well, I'm saying just figure out the happy medium because if someone feels like they can't let their feelings out and they're going to be portrayed as being weak, when it's really just how someone feels. That pain feels the same for me as it felt for if I had a brother and he felt it. That same brush burn is the same. Why is it okay that I can show my feelings? Men shouldn't be made to feel weak by showing emotion. It really is, it's just not cool. And it really affects people later on in life. So when you get older, it affects your relationships. It affects how you handle anger. It affects how you handle things, everything. Because you always have this idea in your mind that you're weak. And that's not true. It's not.
So as men, how do you feel we should tell our sons, brothers, nephews, younger men in our life?
I'm not
to
saying
express
don't build them
themselves?
up to be
No, I'm
weak.
saying,
Yeah,
how
I
do
think
you-
you should express themselves. I think you should be like, yo, I know that shit hurts. Like, you good. Like, it's okay. You can cry. Let it out. Get it out. Let's move on. That's what it is. Just let them get it out and then move
I've had
on.
situations where I've done both. Because my son plays soccer, so he got kicked in his leg. And he wanted to let it out. And I was like, and I looked at him, I was like, nah, like, you better hold that one. But there was another time, like, where he really, like, he flipped over the kid. And so I was like, all right, that one, just turn this way, but you can let that one out.
Yeah, and that's good too, because then sometimes you're like, okay, don't be a baby. I mean, we gotta do that to girls too. You know what I mean? So it's like you can, as a father, I think you can decipher what should be allowed and what shouldn't. But I just feel like sometimes people are so tough on their sons that then it becomes a problem later on, and no one knows how to filter out their emotion.
Yeah.
And it's difficult. You know what I'm saying? So then you're either like, you're an angry black man, or you're this, or you're that, but you just don't even know what to do with your emotions because you were never taught. So it's important that you teach your sons how to deal with their emotions and that that's okay for them to have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's all I'm saying.
some kids show so much emotion, and they give you a backlash to it. So, but I kind of think this was therapeutic for me in a way. I really appreciated that little moment.
This is cool to lean on family and friends too.
Facts.
Yeah.
Okay, but you said lean on family and friends, but some people have that family where she said you always got to be tough around them. So how do you express yourself when you
I'm sure you got at least one friend.
Yeah, there's
you can't
somebody
really
that
defend.
you
You
got that one eye?
With the mustache. And she talk like Bernie Mac.
Why you so shit? You got a fucking face in the sky. Like, it's just not one person.
I'm saying,
You better get up.
I'm saying you're
Or
right.
you be like the
You're right.
motherfucker that been on Facebook. Like, it's
Right.
probably some outlet.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Some.
Outlet everywhere.
Yo, the motherfuckers that vent on Facebook. Oh my god.
Hey, I'm not judging. I can't judge nobody, but
I'm not gonna do it. I ain't even gonna comment on it.
Why? Why not?
why I'm not
Well,
judging?
because
Like, you're not judging motherfuckers go on Facebook. They take their problems
I
to
haven't been
Facebook.
on Facebook in like 4 years. I
Well,
can't say shit.
but
about
you
it.
know that motherfuckers take their problems to
I think
Facebook.
there's two things with Facebook. Some of it is attention, and other people probably do it because they really don't have anybody, and I feel bad for them.
Man, they can go inside somebody's inbox.
But what if
and
people
get
don't have anybody? Like, some people might really not have anybody, and that might be the only place they can do that. I'm not
Come
saying
on.
everybody. No, listen, I think it's traumatic too. Believe me, I'd be like, damn, why you putting out your business out here? What the hell wrong with you? You ain't got no pride. Believe me, I do the same thing. I think about like things that I read, and I'd be like, God damn.
Do you like they post stuff?
But then I'm like, this person has to be really in a desperate place
I
to
say-
put this amount of
yeah, person
information
like
out
that, they
here
really at the
for
end of the
people.
ropes, and that's
But
why
most
they
people
suicide
prey
note.
upon that stuff. People like people's downfalls. You ain't never gonna know about mine. Not on Facebook.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Because there are people that prey upon that stuff, and then there's people that are like, so I'm like, well, that's what I'm saying. But then there's people that just want attention. And then
Yo.
you're like, okay, you wild. You do this every day,
So-
all
I
day.
mean, there has been some cases where it helped people out and like
Exactly.
even save
So I
lives
think
though.
it
So I mean,
depends.
it's like
Yeah. To each his own.
There's an up and down to it. pretty
Yo,
much.
ain't no up and down. Fuck that. Ain't no saving nothing. You don't do that. See,
But,
here's the
but
thing
wait,
about
wait,
that.
wait.
But if
But
you-
that's
I
a
know,
form
but-
of them expressing themselves.
Yeah, like,
But
who
if
are
you
we
got
to
per-
tell
but
somebody
like
they
how
can't?
she said, if you got person with no friends and no nothing like that, you in the I mean by yourself, you about to off yourself.
Right.
You make a post on
Okay,
Facebook.
I
all
had-
right.
No,
I hear that.
I had
Somebody-
somebody
I
I
get
went to
that.
school.
You're-
I had somebody I
You're
went to
opening
school.
yourself up
That
to
happened.
a lot, though.
You are. You are.
Like-
But they got to get it out.
But you're opening yourself up. You susceptible at that point. You opening yourself up
Yeah.
to anything that anybody says,
It would
which
be
could
even
put
more
you
negative.
over the edge.
Exactly. I believe that.
Woo, Rain just came and gave it to you.
Rain on them.
Rain on.
Yo,
He came in Rain Man. Remember Rain Man? Fucking, what was the nigga from the Seattle Supersonics? Rain Man? Rain Man. Bond.
No, it's
Came in
true.
the paint with 2 days.
I had somebody who did that. I had two people on my Facebook that I went to high school with. This one kid, it was so weird because I woke up one night from going out. It was a Sunday morning. I wake up and I had all these likes. I'm like, why do you do that? That's so weird. And I wasn't even that close to him. He was somebody I went to high school with. I mean, like middle school into high school. He dropped out. Him and his brother had a different life. He dropped out of school. Never really seen him again except for social media. And he randomly would say like, oh, hey, how are you been? Whatever, whatever. And I'd respond. He wrote something on social media, was just like, I'm out, and killed himself. Literally. Did it.
Damn.
Somebody, my friend's brother, same thing. Did it. And he would go on there and be emotional, but he wasn't playing around. Like, they really, both of those people did. That's why it's like, it's crazy, because you just can't, that's why I'm like, sometimes I'm like, that might be the only place they want to put it, but like, you say, like, you make yourself so susceptible, I don't really think it's beneficial to put that much information out there for people to prey on you. And like, you know, people, I mean, you look at social media, even with like celebrities, like people go hard. They're like savages. Like, I don't even know what that would be like to be a celebrity and have someone go at you every minute of the day. There's always someone like Scott saying something negative to say, or like, I have to turn my reader seats off.
So,
There's be like,
no, I think people
don't
now.
let him be like, don't send me that shit.
A lot of people don't even be doing that shit themselves. Like they be having like Burning Man
No,
or some shit like
because
that.
Nas did it when he blacked out on
No,
Instagram.
I said some people.
And what he did was he turned the comments off.
Well, yes, I'm
So people couldn't comment.
Oh, yeah.
So now you just stuck with it.
Well, I mean, that's the other thing. You could do shit like that too, but I'm just saying, like, on the one side of it, a lot of the celebrities don't post on their shit at all themselves.
Right. Somebody else is doing it. Yeah, they have
And
a,
then you got the other celebrities like where they were at a point where they know how to handle certain shit. They know how to take the feedback. They don't give a shit. They can post what they want to post. Take it how you want to take it or whatever, and then let that be that.
Right. All right. Well, I guess we off of that. We good? 'Cause we was about to go deep. We was going to get heavy in here. The Hennessy was about to get cracked before rain got on. Being a good daughter or a good son. I kind of left that open, but I would say, what's the definition of being a good daughter and a good son?
I don't know, that's a hard one, because I mean, you just do right by your parents. Like, how do you,
That's
So
up
how
to
do you-
interpretation.
About, all right, do right by your parents.
Yeah.
Even when your parents do you wrong.
that is hard. I mean, people's relationships are different with their parents. I mean, some people are there and they grow up with their parents. Some people, you know, the parents weren't there for whatever reason, and people have animosity towards them. So it just depends. I mean,
Preach.
if you have a supportive parent and your parents always been in your life supporting you, you just support them back, right?
So what if
I
your
mean-
so what if your parent is or has not been in your life for X amount of years? They come back. You come back in their life, and y'all make amends. You know, think things are good.
I
And
think
then-
that's a process, though. I mean, I don't think you can. Nothing happens
What
overnight.
what's the years?
I don't know if you can interpret it to like a certain amount of years, like, oh, after 5 years, or great. I just think that it depends on rebuilding that relationship that you didn't have.
Right.
Like, I grew up with my mother. My mother has always been supportive. I would always support her. I didn't grow up with my father. I wouldn't even go to his funeral.
Wait.
There'd be no reason for me to go.
Wait. What? Wait.
Because he's been absent. I had a relationship with him since I was like 5. I wouldn't go to his funeral, and I wouldn't feel no type of way.
You didn't have a relationship since you were 5?
No. I mean,
So he's gone then.
yeah, like to me, like he already died.
So what if you had a relationship from ages all the way up to 5, then you stopped until you were 15, and then from 15 until, let's say, 20, you had a relationship and you guys bonded.
I feel like after a certain amount of time, personally, there's no time for a relationship to be built. Like, I already grew. You don't know me. I don't know you. We're strangers.
But he's doing things for you as if he's taking care of you.
Yeah, but for me, that's hard to answer because that didn't happen for me. So
No, I know. I'm asking theoretically. So
Theoretically,
So if
if someone came back in your life, I mean, you would have to allow them, and then you had a reason to allow them to come back in your life. And then you'd be like, okay, let's try to repair this. But it would be a process. It would be like, I mean, you wouldn't trust that person completely. They'd have to build that back up with you. So then after a while, I'm sure something can be built if you're 15 years old.
Plus, there's too many scenarios, too many different scenarios.
Yeah,
so,
that's
say,
hard to
say for
answer.
instance, if you was absent or whatever for a period of time, but the son had a mother who wasn't like completely like just disregarded everything that you attempted to do as a father, so they already somewhat poisoned that child's mind against you. Or you had a parent where, like a mom or whatever, or dad, if the dad was raising the kid, and the mom was in the picture, and they was like, well, yeah, your mom is doing such and such, and she's out living her life right now, but she's still not a bad person. She just needs to find a way, whatever. So whenever she did, whether it was alcoholism or drugs or whatever, she did find a way back. That father was there and would never downplay that mom, or that mom never downplayed that dad. So the child was like, all right, you're my dad. I mean, my mom told me all these good things about you. I'm actually interested in finding out what this is about. So I think it's a lot of different scenarios and situations that would come into play in regards to that.
It's interesting. You know, growing up with a pops that was in and out, I still would go to his funeral if he was to pass. And I still would give him because I came from his sack. Okay?
Really?
Yeah, that's really gross.
I know it's gross, but
Hey, he gave him life.
he gave me life. Well, if people want to talk about I actually swam to that.
Ricky, come
I
on.
thought you were
Hi, Rick.
I think we all know the process.
But I think once you say, I forgive, and you move on, and that person starts to do for you as if it came natural, even if you don't feel that way where you like totally turned on to that person and being around that person and whatever have you. Once they start to give you them and show you that they're a good person, those other things that they've done in the past, that's not to say that they go away. But they're put on the back burner to give that person an absolute shot and chance of being there. And I think that, to your point about being with if the scenario is bad for that person that's trying to give, it's then now hard to build, to have that trust. So that person
because it's poison.
is poison. So what do you do if you are that person that wants to continue to have that relationship, but the other end doesn't forgive, the child doesn't forgive,
Right.
and they just turn on you?
I mean, and from my perspective, on my end, because I was somewhat in a situation like that, I mean, as a parent, you want to be there for your kids, whether they want you there or not. I mean, whether you're there from a silent standpoint and you're still providing stuff that they need, and I mean financially, I mean, you're still being there. Whether or not they want you in like a physical relationship, I mean, like something like that, you really can't control. But I mean, like as a parent, you still put up that fight, because I mean, that shit.
You just still fight it out.
Like sometimes you're gonna have them times where like did this little motherfucker just really say this to me, or like did this situation just happen? But at the end of the day, it's like
Okay, so I got a question.
you from me.
So you just said all of that. So what if your kid feel like, oh, you ain't been shit, you ain't gonna never be shit, but you owe me this because you are the person who helped create me? Like you should have been there
I owe you shit, man.
as a parent. But I'm saying.
No, parents don't owe nobody shit. Parents don't owe
And
anybody.
then, okay, but what if they feel that way? How
You can feel
how do
whatever
you
you
take
want.
that?
You can feel whatever you want. A parent,
So do
It's
you
not
continue
all.
to try to build a relationship, or do
yeah,
say,
you
fuck
can
it?
you build a relationship because that's what it is.
I
But
mean,
you
owe
don't
kids something
owe-
if you're a shitty parent.
No.
If you're a
You don't
shitty
know this.
parent,
If you're a real shitty parent where you've like
it's
you were
your
on
responsibility to
drugs,
build
you
a
weren't
relationship.
around.
Right.
But if you were trying to be around and
Oh,
you
yeah,
got the
that's
conversation,
yeah.
we're talking about
Just
you're talking
regular.
about people, just regular people who
No,
you're
say
talking about
like, say you was
you gotta
gone.
give scenarios. 'Cause it's-
Say you was gone. Your dad was gone, and then you 25. He come back in your life, but you as his son, you still feel like, oh, you ain't been around 25 years. You like, I feel like you owe me to like be around at least.
Guess what? I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you something. We're gonna move off of that. I'm gonna tell you this quick story.
I've never been in this.
I'm gonna tell you this quick story. I was 25. I'm gonna share this. I was 25. I was at Buff State, and what happened is, I had got kicked off the team. Well, I didn't get kicked off the team, but they said, "Hey, you had too many semesters, and you can't play football anymore." Okay. And I'm like, damn. I done wasted, in my mind, I done wasted some years, so it hurt me a little bit. Stung. So I wind up calling him. Say, Dad, I need to come to Nebraska. Clear my head. Say, all right, come on. I got on the bus and I went. Now the time that I was there, I felt that way. Like, yo, I'm not paying for nothing. You owe me this time. I ain't seen you. You ain't did nothing for me. You gonna give this to me. Until I sat and had a conversation with him and talked to him like a man. Once I talked to him like a man and he understood where I was coming from, we both understood each other. He's like, yo, now you understand that I don't owe you anything? I birthed you.
But there's some people out there that don't want to have that conversation. Like, you should have been there from jump. That's how some people feel. Like, they not going to change that. Like, you should have been there from jump. Like, they might not see it as if, okay, you're on drugs, so you're going to try, step away and get yourself right first. Some people just feel like it don't matter what you was going through. You should have been there.
Listen,
And that's just one of them hard situations where that it's gonna be a constant bump.
yeah, you gotta be able to forgive.
But if you serious and you really want to build that relationship, you're gonna be willing to put up that fight.
You got to. So, and I did some trifling shit. I ain't gonna go all into it, but I did while I was there. And he was just like,
I believe you.
Right.
and he just was like, you ain't gonna do this while you're here. That's it.
He gave you that poison.
Gave me that, yeah, he gave me that straight Ricky, like, oh my bad, it was Trey. But we good, we off that? We good?
We go with that, man.
Yo, Trey pops was a lot of people's pops.
Damn. Yo.
Uncle Phil was a
Him,
lot
I
of
say
people's
him,
pops.
Uncle
Uncle
Phil.
Phil. Uncle Phil.
And
man.
what's the other one? Carl
Kyle
Winslow?
Winslow? Oh,
Those
shit.
was the three right there.
Yo,
You had a dad, you had two dads after watching that shit.
damn sure. So we got that. So with this fashion.
Wait.
Whoa, what?
Let's talk about this little 9-year-old boy first before we jump into her fashion. Get that out the way.
Oh, yeah,
Because
go
she
ahead.
got a story to tell, too.
What story?
Oh, you got a story to tell.
Oh, you got a story? Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got a story to tell.
Whatever.
What about the 9? Are you talking about the 9-year-old that was in New York City that made mistake and touched the lady ass?
He never touched her.
That little boy.
Oh, you don't think he really touched her?
It's on video. He never touched her.
Oh, he ain't touched her?
He did not touch
That's
her.
But even
Oh.
if
That's
he did
ridiculous.
touch her, he's a
It was
9-year-old
his
little
book
boy.
bag hit her and he walked right out just like he ain't even know his book bag hit her.
Like, he ain't pay that lady no
That was so
attention.
sad. He was so traumatized by that.
There was a lot of shit going on where people just be like
What was they
doing
trying to
all
do?
type of shit.
Dude, they tried to, I feel like they was trying to, prosecute the little man.
I mean, they couldn't have did that, but it was just terrible. They didn't have to go
The
through that.
whole-
You're 9
right.
years old.
The whole fact,
Coming
little
from
boy-
school, you probably ran into the store to get a candy bar, and you walk out, and then you plan on your day going that way.
Like the lady called the cops and everything.
Yeah, it's just messed up.
On a 9-year-old.
Yo, you know what though? I was thinking, it's 2000s. Man, my mom would have whooped that lady ass. I ain't even lying, son. My mom would have whooped that lady ass, dog.
We ain't even
No,
gotta
it wouldn't
we ain't
even.
even gotta take it to the cops, bro.
Nope.
Just get these hands.
Yo, touch your ass, and you want to call the cops, or you don't want me to whoop his ass? Oh yeah, you gonna get these ass whooping, and we gonna find out what really happened.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was uncool.
Wow. Well, I guess we can go right into the corporal punishment,
I can go right into that then.
because now they doing it in Florida where teachers can whoop kids' ass now.
That's ridiculous too.
They only like a permission slip.
They get a permission slip. You sign a permission slip and say your kid can get his ass
Ain't nobody
whooped.
would.
But I feel like
That's not even
I
a
feel
question.
like why the fuck should I sign a permission slip? Like, I need to whoop my kid ass
That
myself.
was a teacher, so my aunt had permission to whoop my little sister.
That's family, bro.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
family.
That's family.
No, but so
That's
you ain't.
like, that's
So
like your son going to school and getting whooped by one of his-
All right, I'll put it this way. I was 6th grade. I was at Performing Arts. There was a lady, Mrs.
His teacher.
No, Miss.
Can't remember her name. It's his teacher.
I want to say Mrs. Cox. She
this
passed away now.
punk ass vodka you got in there. Remember shit.
Dude, you drinking wine?
I'm saving for the Hennessy though.
Either way you go, it was this older black lady. She was like the auntie of every black kid. I mean, white kid, whatever. She was the auntie of every student in there. I believe my father gave her permission to, if I needed to, like, to choke me up and fuck me up. And
She take advantage of it.
yeah, she grabbed me once. I was running the stairs with my hat on. And she was like, take your hat off. And I was like, no. Like, I just came off the bus. I'm running to my locker. I'm not taking nothing off. She finally caught me in homeroom, dragged me outside,
Yoked you.
took my hat. Not only did she take my hat, she took my hat to the office. She called my dad. After she whooped my ass, and then my dad came to school and fucked me up.
Cousin, when your birthday?
July 6th.
Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
What?
No, I was just thinking about something. I was thinking about
My son?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. All right, go ahead.
I'm a cancer.
Yeah, defiant.
But yeah,
I'm a sign. I like sign. I
Yeah,
think
it
about
just caught me
signs.
off guard. Like, what did his birthday have to do with that story?
No, he's defiant. He's just a defiant one.
I mean, I think every person has that side.
He's stubborn as fuck. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, I just feel like everybody has a.
No, I'm not. Somebody tell me to take my hat off. I'm taking it off.
No.
I might put that. I might put that shit back on when I
I
walk
just got
back.
off the bus and I was walking to my locker. No, I'm not taking it off. I'll take it off when I get to my locker. And I was heavy in the fitness then. And my shit was fly. Like, I'm trying to press the people all the way to my locker. No, I'm not
Trying to
taking it off.
impress him.
Yeah. You want to make sure everybody's
Well,
saying
I say this, and this is when Jay-Z first like started bringing out the Yankee joints too. I had to make
Oh,
no, I'm not taking my hat off.
come on.
Yo,
It was raining
Casa was
outside.
making the fitted more famous than the Yankees.
Oh, Casso.
And I used to wear my shit tilted to the side, just like Jay.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah. So I mean, as long as it's not taking like out of control, I'm not gonna say I'm cool with it, but I'm saying if you got a relationship with that teacher to discipline your kid, I'm not saying like just completely like take him outside with a switch or some shit like that and fuck him up, but
I'm with the shits, but here's the thing.
you gotta know who
I'm
you
with
got
it for a
power
different
to.
reason than y'all are. I'm thinking about the things that happened back in the 90s.
That's what I'm saying.
Columbine.
Like, it was a whole completely different fear of you. I mean, you being respectful of your teacher back then than how it is now. I would never talk to my teacher the way some of these kids talk. You know what I mean, to the teachers now. I've sat in my son's classroom and seen kids. I mean, in the 7th and 8th grade do some outrageous shit that I wouldn't even do out in public to another person, let alone a teacher.
Yeah, that kid needs to be in like Hopeville, Bigger Victory. I would have had that
No,
kid.
these kids are disrespectful.
Yo, listen.
I see it though.
That's what I'm saying. So some of them kids need that shit.
Or don't you
Need
think
some type
if
of discipline.
okay, so y'all remember when parents used to come to school and whoop your ass in front of the class,
Yeah,
right?
me
Don't
too.
you think some kids just need that?
No, because some of the parents not around. Some of the parents scared of their kids.
Class. I'd take them to like the bathroom or some shit like that. I wouldn't
Yo,
do
listen.
that.
I see
Actually,
plenty of kids get their ass.
in the classroom, in front.
Yes.
Some
Somebody had to catch me.
some parents are scared of their kids though. No, seriously.
I wish I would be scared
Yo,
of my kids.
I worked at Hopeville in school,
But yo,
and these
right
little
in the throat.
white kids had to be about
Oh.
this high.
You said white.
Oh,
Here
white
you go.
kid.
This little, well, some black kid too, but we'll get into that.
Yeah,
But
but
the little white
one
little.
type of different environment. Ain't no kid in the hood talking back to their mom like how you got an iron thrown at you. I used to have to. I got a time for my whooping. Not only did I get a time, I had to sit there and wait. Not me in my drawers and anticipate the shit. Like wasn't no running, like
Anxiety and shit.
no. Yeah, like bro, like I had PTSD, all types of shit from my whoopings, yo.
Yeah, I know it. I used to hate.
You know it's coming. Damn.
When you got
Never
your
like
ass-
waiting ever. You don't like waiting on a dentist. He'd be like,
And then when shut up,
Let me get this shit over with, damn.
I never got a whooping.
That's better than my boxes, nothing else on. I couldn't even hide a book
I
in my
was good
pants.
though. I was good. I ain't get no
I used
whooping.
to, my dad used to fuck
Your
me
dad
up.
used to tell you shut the fuck up before I give you something to cry for after you whipped your ass.
My dad would never cut. My
Your
dad
dad
still
ain't
doesn't
cuss?
cut.
That's what's up.
Wow.
My daddy cuss you out there.
Yeah,
Wait,
my mom
he hit
cuss
me. You just look at the nigga wrong. What the fuck you looking at?
My dad was the deep voice one liner. He'd tell you to do something. If you ain't do
You better
it,
do
then
it.
it was over. Yeah.
My dad light skinned. I'm like,
Yo,
nobody really scared of him.
My teacher-
Nobody's
my
scared
dad-
of this light skinned nigga.
My teachers used to call my dad a bear. He used to have this big car because my dad worked construction. He used to have a big Carhartt coat with the fur on the hood. So as soon as you see him down the hallway, they was like, yo, that's Sean Dad.
Yeah, you know, he about to get his
Yeah.
ass whooped.
Like, you know what's up?
I used to get my ass whooped on all type of shit. Mom, if you listening, please don't. Yo, you know what's so crazy? I used to get my ass whooped, and I used to look at my like sisters and like my little brothers, and they didn't get their ass whooped. They never got beat up.
You
Like
the
I
bad
did.
one?
Cause they got.
No, they were worse
your
than
mom got
me.
tired of whooping your ass.
No, I think that's what happened. I got all the ass whooped.
She was tired of
From
whooping your ass.
from like second grade
Was you
until like
the
sixth
example?
grade.
You were the example.
Nigga, I was getting my shit. And even in like 8th grade, I was getting irons thrown at me. Like, God damn.
Nah, I ain't gonna
And I
hold
ain't even say nothing to my mom.
you. Nah, I ain't gonna hold you.
The
This
teacher
my ass
called me.
whooping I got. I deserve that shit. I ain't had no choice but to take that shit.
I think I got one good ass whooping my whole life. I picked up a cigarette, but I ain't never touched a cigarette since.
I said, you know, my grandma did. I got
Everybody in the
since
house
smoking a
whooped
cigarette.
my
But I
ass from
stole a
mom
cigarette from
to
her.
grandparents to uncles to aunts to motherfuckers I didn't even know.
Got that ass.
God, man, I'm young. I
That's
was
how it
raised
in the
as
black
fuck.
house though. That's how it was in
Yeah.
the house though.
And I had to sit on the porch and watch all the kids play. I was pissed off.
Oh, damn.
Nah, never that. When I was mad, I wasn't leaving my
It was
room.
the summer,
I
dog. It was
outside.
the-
I
it was-
play.
It was the summer. It was get the fuck out my face. That's what time of year it
No.
was.
Yo, I think I would have rather got ass whoopings when I was in punishment. Punishment is the worst. Like if I gotta sit on the porch while boys is throwing the football and they looking like, Rick, you coming? Nah. What you done did? I ain't wash the dishes. Oh!
That's the other thing. Your friends that talk about you and shit.
Hell, you can't
They
come out
call
the
you?
porch, and then they can't even come on the porch.
That's when they come stand at the
They
bottom
come stand
of
at the bottom of the steps, and your mom hear them. Who the fuck out there? And then niggas run. They roaches.
You still sitting there with the shit face.
Corporal punishment. I think black kids caught that. We caught that first. That's why I don't understand how it's so fucking crime rate. Because I know back in like the 70s, 80s, they was getting fucked up,
Hell yeah.
and they still going to jail. Like, come on, that's tough, man. We off
You
that.
got teachers telling kids they can call CPS on their parents now.
Fuck, yo.
Fuck you, mom.
And they use that shit.
I said that'd be your last words for the next month.
Yeah, let a black kid say that to their mom.
No, black kids used to say that at Hopeville and Baker Victory. Like, I have a license I know how to restrain you.
There's different scenarios.
I went through that skip training too.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
different.
I know how to restrain. I would love to restrain like a big
They
kid.
got traumas though. What they
Some
carry,
of 'em-
that's why it's
yeah.
like that. Like all of them kids, I work with them.
Let
Right.
one of
They
us
have
say that shit
traumas
to our
and
moms.
behavioral issues because of all of these traumatic issues. Like,
Right.
It's not just they do it. No, they cussing at their mom because their mom probably did some real stuff.
Right.
Like, most of them. And their mother probably really scared of them. I seen that too. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
They be scared. Like, they be scared.
Scared of the motherfucker. Look, little Johnny, man, 13 years old, 6'6".
Right.
His mom is like fucking 4'11", and said, I can't do nothing with him. Well, I see, nigga, look how tall he is. Like, but she done did some fucked up shit that he done told you about.
said, you think of yourself like this nigga about to get a 2-piece.
Man, I'm loving it. I'm like, yeah. This skip train about to work on your ass. You just don't know. You think I'm gonna fight you. You think I'm gonna really brawl? Yeah, I'm
My mom,
Yeah.
yeah, my little sister and my mom was getting into it. My mom was like, listen, I don't care how big you get. If I'm 80 and you 30, you better fight slow and let me win.
You better fight slow and let me win. Oh, shit.
My mom ain't fucking
She
around.
kind of knew in her mind, like, yeah, I better not say the wrong thing. My cane might drop.
Listen, you better fight slow, nigga.
That's so funny.
Hey, so we coming to the end. What's up with this fat? Oh, no.
No, we
What's
fashion.
up? What's up? Yeah.
No,
So
let me get
this
the
fashion.
fashion first.
I want that red. No, man.
Oh, you want this red jacket?
Yeah, they don't make
Only
it.
thing I-
They don't make the red
I'll make
jacket.
sure I tell Gio to look for a red jacket for
Yeah,
you.
tell them.
I
I
promise.
need one.
You gotta
So
start changing all your seeds now.
Blood.
This guy.
the fashion tip is actually about
We got
jackets because it
fucking
is winter time now.
Uh-huh.
It's winter time now, and everybody likes
You
to
like my
put on a
jacket?
coat. So I like your jacket. Oh,
Yeah,
the
it's
dance
jacket.
you did in that jacket.
I was on
Let's
my
talk about that,
shoulders
Jodeci. No.
It's really
But
fun.
I want everybody to keep in mind you don't always have to have a plain coat. Like right now, what's in are gonna be cool fabrics and textures. You can get like houndstooth or plaid. Like actually I have a plaid jacket right now. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You can get like tweed, houndstooth, plaid. Like they come in like even for puffy coats right now. I've seen like checkered puffy coats. Like they don't always have to be plain.
You got those?
I have a couple in my store right now. For
Yeah,
mine. Yeah,
wow.
I have like a plaid coat, but it's girls.
Oh, fuck.
If it's red, you still put that shit
I know,
on.
right? Get you an
As small
extra
as that
small.
shirt he got on.
Yo, time out.
Everybody just
Yo,
came out this shit.
I guess I'm just gonna have a fucking hoodie on the rest of the winter then.
I'm just saying, don't be boring. Let's try some textures. For the women, a lot of the times we think that animal prints are trashy. I'm not a big fan of them, but they're on like the runways for like Balenciaga and all the high-end fashion brands. They're showing like lots of like leopard print coats, like overcoats, and like zebra print. I'm not a big.
I'm
fan
not
of
wearing no damn zebra print.
Nah, I'm talking for women though.
Say not for you.
Yeah, that's not for you.
I mean, but you know
The
this
tweed-
nigga
the
Young
tweed-
Thug out here wearing fucking all type of
Yeah, but
shit.
the tweed and the
He's in
glam
his
plaid
own
and stuff
world.
is for
He's in
men
his
and
own
women. So
galaxy.
both of
He
you
don't
guys
count.
can do that. Yeah.
What is it called?
The tweed, like tweed jacket, glam plaid,
Better send me a screenshot in the
houndstooth,
group chat.
like all those fabrics and textures, those are for men and women. So like that's cool for guys too. I was actually just in yeah, and they come in like jackets now, like they're overcoats.
Don't hate me.
Look at he fancy.
I'm saying, my blazer, my Belvedere's, man. Don't be hating on me. Yeah,
He said it's Belvedere's.
you don't know
Yeah.
about
Since
that.
y'all say I
They
always
come with
talk
their own
about.
bag. You gotta zip it up.
Never mind.
Go ahead, say something.
Never mind. Go ahead.
Go get you a
I
red
said, I let
jacket.
the leash off your sheen over here.
Nah, we good.
So,
That's the
you got
fashion.
fashion police today?
You know what? I didn't see any crazy fashion police things this week. Saturday I went out, like I said.
You better not
I
have. It was
didn't-
raining like a motherfucker.
Yeah, I didn't dress up for Halloween, and so everybody was dressed up. But you know, every guy, like, probably specifically white boys, everybody was like Post Malone and this, like, what's that other guy, the Tekashi 6ix9ine or whatever. Every boy had like all these tattoos on their face. Like I literally was on Ellen and was counting it. I'm like, is that the one, like the thing to wear?
I mean, when your
The
girlfriend-
costume of the-
when your
the
girlfriend give
year?
her a makeup tutorial,
It was
you know,
crazy.
She can draw those on.
Trump.
I did see
I
some.
love how Trump
I
people
did
do
see
that
some
too.
cool costumes too. Like there was a group of girls. They were all like the Orange is the New Black characters. They had like the orange jumpsuits on. They were cute. Who else did I see?
Shit, they better not give me a state. If they downtown, they better chill. So think they really escaped. The fuck?
I like the creative costumes.
Yeah.
I'm not with the like go to Party City and buy a costume. I think like back in the day, like you had to make your costumes. Like get creative. I like
I mean-
creative homemade costumes are always the better ones. I'm too young for that. Yeah, I know. You're young. That's why he was at Party
What
City.
the fuck? What you mean?
I'm tired of him when he's too young. He's too young for everything.
My mom made every costume. I should have
Everything.
brought all the pictures. My mom made. I was Smurfette one year. I was painted blue.
Listen,
Took
I was a
hours to
ninja
get the
for
blue
like
shit
10
off.
years.
I was blue up with
I am
was a
not
ninja for
painting
like
her
10 years.
my daughter Smurfette.
listen. I was miserable. I was like probably like 6. I was blue. Like it took forever to get the blue off. I was Wilma Flintstone one year. My hair was like orange spray painted and up in a little bit.
And the bone?
Yeah, I had bone. They made this dress out of like potato sack. And no, my mom and my grandmother did not.
That's
play.
creative though. That's
My mom and my
creative.
grandmother did not play. I was like the Brussels sprout thing one year. No, it was. If you could see,
I'm about to
all
go
my
that route,
costumes.
though. I spent damn near fucking $120 something on costumes this year. So
See,
I'm about to go that
that's why
route.
you should just be
Yo.
creative. You can make better
We
costumes.
ain't making no costumes. We going as we is.
It's
Miss
fun.
Ike, Miss Ike,
It's
you gonna
fun.
start making costumes.
It's
for
fun to
y'all.
make costumes. I think it's fun. I didn't get it. I didn't actually go out. I wanted to go out on Saturday with a costume, but I decided not to because I wanted my costume to be dope, and I didn't have enough time to like in my mind
Well,
to be creative and make one.
I didn't myself personally do the costume and shit, but I did do pumpkin carving, and I carved
that's cool.
E.T. in my pumpkin.
Oh, so that's dope. Yeah, that's dope.
You're creative. You getting your creative, man.
There you go.
Why didn't want to use like the stencils? It was just like
My daughter's so old. We don't do that
I
anymore.
think I'm just let my daughter throw paint at her or something.
That's cute.
She's only 2. She'll be
That's
great.
cool too though. My kids painted their pumpkins after they carved it.
Yeah, that's fun. That's a way to be creative.
So creative.
Yeah.
I know you guys.
You got any stories?
I ain't got no story.
You ain't got no story.
I do want to get to this interview.
That little like Bill shit.
Fuck you, dude.
Crop top.
Pause it, you know.
Y'all talking about me and my book bag.
Crop top.
Y'all talking about me with my book bag. I had condoms, chargers, all of that in there. You gotta have everything in there.
Like
I'm gonna go sit
None of
down.
that.
Yo, time out. See, the thing is, he said he don't got the condoms and all that shit. You had condoms in your book bag, bro.
High school, dog.
Giving them out.
I was giving them out and using them.
He was in high school.
You work for Planned Parenthood?
Damn near.
Yo, this dude, man. Alright, so we good? We back?
I said, well, you lying.
Alright, we live.
baby.
Alright, so listen. We got a special guest here today. And we're gonna go ahead around the table. I'm gonna go with me, then we're gonna go to you, Cos. So this is Ricky.
What's good, this castle?
Yo, this Sheen.
I'm RGO Rain.
Alright, RGO Rain said that shit so smooth.
Yeah.
I fucked his name up like 6 times last week.
Oh, man,
I was just like, fuck it, it's one of the Rainy brothers.
They get messed up a lot. Arago.
That's what I was thinking it was.
Like, what?
I'm not even gonna say it.
So
I
how'd
was
you-
gonna ask you how to say it.
So how'd you get that name? Like, how did that come about?
I was young. I was young and dumb. And RGO was like an acronym. It was R.G.O. I ain't gonna get into what it means, but then I just made it a name.
Okay.
So RGO Rain. You know, Rain is really what it is, though. Rain is what everybody call me. That's who I am. Everybody already know that.
And so for those who don't know, so your last name is Rainy.
Yeah, Rainy.
That's slick as hell, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I had the privilege of dealing with some of your older brothers hooping.
You probably get your ass work.
Yeah, they goats.
Man, I was
Them boys
looking-
goats.
my sophomore year, Kyle tried to play on me. I was like, no, you can have that posted by yourself.
I do not want to be in this picture. Right.
Yo, you know, so I got so many stories that coming up with his brothers. Shit, we won the championship together.
Right. Yo, cut you.
And, man, the bus crew. Yo, those were some good times. And I seen Carl. That's the Edmund
Oldest.
is Edmund, right? So it's
Carl, then Edmund.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. And I seen Carl one time. I don't know where I seen him at. And we just looked at each other. It was like, it's 98.
98.
That was like one of the. I know we just reminiscing at this point. We don't get to the interview, but I was thinking about. I was like, yo, 98 was a great year. Music, basketball, football. Shit, even the Sabres was good back then.
Right.
Wait, was that the black and red Jersey Sabres, or are they?
Nah,
still-
that was Dominic. Wasn't that Dominic?
That was Dominic
Hasek?
Hasek. Dominic
Yeah, that was
Hasek.
Dominic Hasek Sabres, wasn't it?
I
Yeah.
was they had the black.
Yeah,
the
the
black,
black,
and red
black,
jerseys.
yeah, that's a fact.
Yo,
We need to go back to those.
whew.
I'm trying to tell you.
But 98, right? So, I'm fucking name up again. I'm just gonna say Rain. Rain. My first question.
Right to it.
Yeah.
It's cool.
What city you from?
Man, Buffalo, New York, man. Come on, man. Yo,
Do we still call it the low?
No.
I don't know what
I
anybody
never
else
called it
calls
that.
it. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Low kids. It's Buffalo. I heard you. It's
Yeah,
Buffalo.
I never said the low ever. That sounds mad cool.
It's 716.
That's
716?
Yeah.
Yeah, 716.
Get 'em. Okay, so what part of town are you from?
Man, East Side, Uptown, Delavan. Born and raised over there. That's a fact.
What's the fact?
That's a fact. This is home. Where we at right now? All of this is home. All of
No
this
matter
is
where
home.
you going,
We
Buffalo.
still
That's
on
what I'm
Delavan.
saying.
We
Yeah,
still
that's
on
what I'm saying.
Delavan.
This
We
is
still on
home.
Delavan.
Yeah, it's home.
When did you fall in love with hip hop?
Watching Brown Sugar.
Yo.
I was about to say
Yo. I'm like, yo,
They
these
on you
generic.
right now, dog. They on
Hey,
you.
That's a classic movie, so I can't front though. I can't front for that one.
So niggas gotta understand when you ask a classic question like this,
No, that's legitimate. I'm just saying.
It is though. It
it's
is.
it's so cliche,
Yeah, nigga,
but we
it's
gotta
just
know
like,
when did
I
you
don't
first fall in
even-
love with hip hop?
It's like I can't even put a finger on it though. Like it's
Who inspired you?
how musically
Yeah,
or
musically.
as a
I know where this is
person.
leading.
You know where I'm going
I
with
know
the
where
next
this is
question.
going.
I mean Tupac, probably my biggest influence.
Yes.
And okay,
Then I like
Y'all
other
be
artists, but I listen to like the Jay-Z's, the Nas, like J. Cole,
Yep.
But Pac,
Give him
that's
one-
my
give him one
Pac
more,
is
give him one more.
my goat.
Give him one more.
Who Cole?
Give him one more name.
Which one?
He gonna ask you your top 5. You gave him 4. Give him one more.
Oh no, I can't even give you a top 5. Like, cause that's I couldn't give you a top 5.
so you can't give us a top 5, right?
No, because the question was who influenced me.
And
It
you
wasn't
said-
who's the best
Okay.
rappers. It's
Yeah.
two those
No,
different
yeah,
questions.
two different questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who influenced me? Pac. That's a fact.
I'm about to hold on.
Period.
I'm not letting him
Segue.
get off of this because I want him. He's going to eventually start listening to Tupac.
He will
and
not.
understand.
I never said
That
I
is
didn't listen
influential.
to him. I just said that I respect
Tupac
him, so he'll
told-
be in my top 3. But I
Mm-mm.
never officially listened to his music.
He told stories. A lot of people don't tell stories.
I understand like the story part, but I couldn't relate to his stories. So for me, there were stories that I could relate to because of the situations that I was in.
You didn't
was,
know a Brenda.
was Biggie and
You couldn't relate to Pac.
Right.
Nothing
Isn't that
Pac was
weird?
talking about.
maybe Dear Mama. But
That's
I mean,
it?
But from the mental state where I was at, I was a Biggie Jay-Z head. I wanted to be in that crowd. So
It's
like,
weird because
that-
I liked Biggie and Jay-Z too, but I still was like Pac. Like,
yeah, but Reasonable Doubt was like my Bible. Like you couldn't get in my car when I was
Well, yeah,
16.
no, Hove
Yeah,
was
yeah,
different.
yeah.
Like Hove, I definitely grew up on Hove, like heavy Hove.
So,
but
what I'm saying is,
was
Pac,
that, yeah, it
Pac
was
is
Pac.
Pac is still in my top 5. Even somebody put out a mixtape. Now I'm mad that I lost the CD, but it was Pac mixed with Dipset beats.
Right.
And that was one of my favorite mixtapes that I ever had, and it was all Pac flows. So I mean, I'm not gonna say that I completely dismiss Pac, and I will never respect him. I'm just saying like he's not he would never be my number 1. But I still respect him as an artist. Like I would never take I would never take away his credibility ever. That's all I'm saying.
So I look at it like this. He said he influenced him. And I always say the reason why Pac is number 1 in my book is because he influenced everything. And I get that people will sit here and say that Jay-Z and Biggie influenced the culture in its like glory of like thug and glory of
I'm
like
not-
drug
but I
dealing
never took it
and
to that
glory of
I'm saying me
party and
personally.
bullshit, right? But when you think about it, I Get Around was like a classic
Yeah.
party song.
Definitely.
Hold on. When you think about it,
I couldn't
Thug
get that
Life.
shit.
was talking about what? Gang banging and drug dealing.
I couldn't.
But you love Jay-Z and he's talking about what? Drug dealing and partying.
But he was telling it from a different perspective, in a New York City perspective. So
What's so
that
Pac?
perspective,
Pac's from New York City.
his perspective, he's from New York City, but a lot of his stuff, because he went to Death Row, a lot of his shit was made like he was like this West Coast guy.
Not until after Me
You know,
Against the
a
World.
lot of people don't know that though. That's what I'm saying. Like
Okay.
you talk to the average person, they're like, he's fucking Cali's greatest king or whatever. as far as rappers go. A lot of people don't know he from the city, or he was like in Baltimore for a second too, at like a performing arts school and all that other shit. A lot of people don't know the background and the history of him. But I'm saying like the way that Jay-Z and Big told their story, I gravitated more towards that than the way that Pac told his story. I couldn't relate to that. I can't relate to the West Coast beats. They didn't gravitate towards me.
Okay.
New York City sound, it grabbed me.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, so that's why I'm saying those two was my two.
All right. Cool. Sorry, Rain.
Yeah.
We can't get off this
Yeah,
shit
we
about
can't do no
Pac.
top 5 though.
Can't do no top
Then y'all
five.
put an order on them?
Yeah,
That's
we
crazy.
get, everybody.
See me,
all females come on and they
I
do
like
it.
to respect
It's
them.
hard.
They all go.
All males
they
come
all
on and
go.
they gonna
See
do it.
why
You
it
don't-
can't
you don't have
be
to-
more
you don't
than
have to-
one go?
You don't have to
They
put them in
can't all
order,
be
just your top.
greats. Like,
Yeah.
Just your top
I just
five.
no, I
You
just
don't have to put them in
appreciate
order.
them. I mean, I appreciate the people that's
Just
great
good
for
music.
being great. Yeah,
Just
like
good
I
music.
appreciate the
I
Nas's,
respect
but I
that.
might not say he in the
Good
top
music.
5. But I'm not even gonna think about that. If I listen to you and I rock with you, I rock with you, and that's
Yeah.
just what it is. I really don't put them above any. If I'm listening to you, I'm listening to you.
Gotcha.
It's something.
Gotcha.
That's
gotcha.
all.
Okay.
All right, so do you have a go-to then? I'm not gonna say top 5, but do you have a whenever
It
you're in
depends what I
certain
go
mood-
through. Yeah, it depends what I'm going through. I have music to listen to fit whatever mood I'm in. But for the most part, I don't listen to other people's music like that.
Okay.
Not much.
All right. When did you start rapping?
I took it serious back 2008. 2007, 2008 is when I like start actually being like, okay, let me really do this. But I was always the kid in the locker room on the basketball team freestyling before the games and all of that. Like, yeah, so that was, but music, I always loved it. I always loved music. Just gave me a feeling, period. Like, music was our family go to, our happiest moments, all of that. Like, music was always involved. So music it's always been there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, what was your parents playing around the house?
Oh man, we was listening to church music. Yeah, I'm listening to gospel. Like when we get together though, they playing, you know, all the old school, the Frankie Beverly and Mays, all of that. Yeah, like they playing all of that music, and that's what I grew up on. Yeah,
That's good.
yeah,
You got the hits rolling when you at the with the family.
yeah,
Shit just seems so much calm in the house,
yeah,
right? Like if they ain't playing no hits, you like, damn shit, I want to get out of here.
yeah.
What's
And it was heavy
albums you
R&B
could put on?
though. It was heavy
What's
R&B
certain
in my
albums you
house.
could put on, just let them join
Yeah.
play.
My older siblings was heavy R&B though, like heavy. I used to listen
Which
to
one?
it through the
Which
van.
one? Hold on, which one?
Oh, man, both
I
of
know it was Carl.
It was him, man.
I know it was
For
Carl.
real, that's a fact. I remember my sister would be in the room for real, vibing. I used to be listening to it on the vent, like, man, like, just vibing there too, just listening, though. Like, swear to God. I remember Brandy. Brandy was playing heavy. It was Jodeci. Everybody, man. It was all that joint playing. Like, everything was playing.
We're not playing it again, Rick. No.
So
Trying to play.
so you the youngest
Yeah, by my mom.
of your mom.
Yeah.
And so how was it like growing up being the youngest? Cause I'm the oldest of my crew, my brothers and sisters. How was it?
It was cool. It was cool. Being the youngest was probably, it was dope because I got to learn from a lot of their mistakes.
Mhm.
So it was just dope, just being able to sit back, and I got away with stuff. And I mean, I got in trouble, but I got away with a lot more. So I ain't have to go through what they went through.
Right.
So being the youngest was dope. I mean, but then you got the other side of it where people, you want to live up to your name, your family name, all of this other stuff. So I mean, I guess it's the pros and cons to being whatever child you are.
Right. So you, that's kind of funny because I'm thinking like, you growing up, and both Edmund and Ray and Carl played college basketball on a high level,
Right.
and I don't know if you did or not.
Yeah.
So where did you go?
I went to ECC.
ECC.
Yeah.
And
Champs too.
and where?
Champs too.
Champs, yeah.
No.
Okay. So he put that in
Yeah,
there.
no,
He's
that's
like,
a
"Champs
fact.
too."
No, that's a
Facts.
fact. 2-year
So-
captain,
So-
champs. Yeah.
So all y'all were champs. So all y'all won.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Ain't no slouch. No. Yeah. No.
So that competitiveness
Yeah.
is burns in you,
Yeah.
right? When you guys used to play 1-on-1, gotta tell me this. I need to know this.
Yo.
Backyard games?
Yo.
Backyard
Yo.
games.
Yeah.
Who would start the fights? I know it was fights because
Nah,
Edmund is not. Edmund will fight. Listen, I seen
We
Edmund.
all the same. Like we all the same. all of us. Like we all will.
Y'all all no, Kyle can't. No, Kyle's not like that.
What? Are you kidding me?
Kyle still.
His
Kyle like
attitude
that?
is terrible. Like we still do this. Like I still got video of us like 2 months ago in the backyard, and it really get competitive every time. Literally, we be coming to drink. We just be out there chilling. Nigga, you shitty. You shitty. Shit, check up.
That's how it
And then
starts.
I'm going to
That's
get my
how it
shoes. And then everybody out there, and we real with it too. Like you only get 2 dribbles, pushing each other. Yo, for real. And we old as hell. We ain't got it no more. We leaving this joint like, man, I shouldn't have did that shit. Like, I hate coming over here. Like, yo, every time. It happens every time we get up, man. Like, it's still like that. Like, so man, it's at the drop of a dime.
Yeah.
It's at the drop of a dime.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on blast though. Who would be the least person you would want to guard out of those two?
I don't know.
No?
Just pick your poison.
Damn.
Like they both legends, like for real. Like they goats. I look up to both of them dudes. Like I couldn't pick one.
Tough?
Nah, like it's real.
Trying to start something,
Nah,
right?
it's real. That's real life. Pick your poison.
Yeah.
You either want the silent 35 or you want the loud 40. Which one you want? Like, that's really what
I'm trying
it
to
is.
start something.
Nah,
Okay,
man.
so between them two, who would they say would be the best between them two?
Desmond gonna say Desmond. Evan gonna say him.
They don't
Like,
got no respect.
who they gonna say the other one?
I mean,
I'm gonna say I'm the best. Like I'm not gonna tell them that. Like that's just how we are. Like that's just how we are.
I'm trying to start something.
Nah, can't start nothing. Nah, for real.
All right, so we got a ton more questions here, and this one is big.
Why you over there?
I know.
Why you this feminine
I was
energy
a
over
come
here?
in the middle of
It's
you
all
guys.
this masculinity.
We trying to keep the mic to where you can be able to hear you. Sometimes they fade out. So,
So what inspires you as far as your music?
Life. I'm a learner. Like I'm just forever learning. So life, like situations, and just everything, man. That's just what inspired me. And anybody we talk, they go through situations. Like life is crazy. Like for everybody. So I mean, that's my biggest inspiration.
so I heard you talk about Frankie Beverly and gospel, and I hear some of that in your songs. Do you think you take some of that in your music when you go into
Oh,
it?
definitely. I'm very spiritual. Like just by nature, I'm a spiritual person. So, like I listen to gospel. Like at 12 o'clock every day was prayer time for me during the process of recording. So, every day was like go to Trey McLaughlin's YouTube page and play him. Like and
Who's Trey McLaughlin?
He's like he arranges music and covers like gospel songs, but he's the dopest. Like so, I reached out to him too, but he's dope. Yeah.
So, religion. What religion? No.
None. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not religious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just like the fact that that there's something.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the religion separates it.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I'm not big on that because it restricts you and gives you rules, a uniform set of rules, when we're all made differently.
Right.
To do the same thing to honor this guy when he made you unique for a way. Like, so I don't get into the separation and the rules and regulation. I'm not into all of that.
Gotcha.
But I do know there is this thing that's way bigger than me.
There's a higher power.
Yeah, that's a fact. There's a God. No, it's a
That's
God.
well spoken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, you sent me over the song. No, first you said listen to this, and then I'm like cool, and then it took a couple days, and I'm Ubering, and put the song on, and the young lady, who's the young lady that's singing on thing?
Ajira.
I'm a sucker for
Nah,
women
Ajira
getting on
is-
tracks and going
Ajira
in, right?
is dope.
That's my like.
Ajira is dope. Like Ajira is like she gonna be the next big thing. I'm telling you. Like all she gotta do is want it. Like see it at all. That's all she gotta do.
And I hear the song, and I was like, thank God, thank God. I'm like, oh, beat drop. And after she come off, you come on, I'm like, oh yeah, this is it. This is gonna be it. So I played it like 20 times.
I appreciate
I
that.
played Reaper like 20 times.
Yo,
Like that
man.
shit.
Don't get into that yet. Hold on,
Yeah,
we gotta get into that.
yeah,
Hold on, get into that
yeah.
yet.
That's
Oh, that's gonna be
questions.
good. Yeah,
Shit,
that's
nigga,
gonna
don't
be
do
good.
that yet.
Yeah.
I'm saying, man. Shit
Yeah.
spoke volume.
That shit did, but hold on. We still don't thank God. What I understand that we got God in here, but take me through that the first bar, the first line, the first 16.
My verse.
Yeah.
It's crazy because like that, I knew that was gonna be the last song that I wrote for the project. Like I just felt it. Like every time I went to try to write it, I couldn't write it. So I knew I had to experience more life in order to write that verse. So I actually wrote that verse as my wife's grandfather passed away. Like I was on the 7th floor, and that's when the verse came to me. Like so, I mean, it was literally at a place where, at a low moment, I'm trying to say thank you for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause even in all of this stuff, I still get another chance. Like, so I really have to be appreciative of that. Like, so everything after that moment became perception for me.
Wow. Dude, you got me feeling, got goosebumps right now because my wife's pops passed last Thursday, and as I'm walking up to the elevators, and I'm just thinking, I'm like, I heard the song already, and I'm just thinking like, man, thank God I get to get out and go and walk up there and go and actually see this man and see the family and be around it, because sometimes you don't get a chance to do that.
Right.
And sometimes the people that around you, I think Kanye West had a song about roses. Don't get a chance to see the roses, and see all the people around.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I mean, like I said, I listened to that song 20 times, and I just enjoyed your verse. I enjoyed the girl obviously singing, but I mean, I like that a lot. So that's why I asked you. And I started it off. You know what I mean? Let's get to his song.
Reaper,
What inspired that, dude? You gotta explain that every verse. I want every verse explained.
Honestly, like as he's speaking, like I can hear him and see him writing this because he's talking about how he don't write until he go through something, or he has to keep going through something until he writes. Like that shit, like was like. Honestly, I feel like that's one of the deeper songs I've ever heard.
Ooh.
I was,
Ooh, look at Rain. Rain like,
nah,
damn.
cause
Don't
like,
give me that.
Was that a moment?
That was like,
with that song, it was, I had to relive certain moments to write that. Like, and every time, like in those things that I was talking about, like those are the times that I saw the Reaper. Like that's when I saw these darkest moments, the Reaper or whatever it may have you. I use the Reaper as the term, but of course it's not like a figure. But that's when I see that dark space. So yeah, that's what I mean. I just revisited it. Like it's a time I lost my grandfather. Like that was the first time, like when I seen him again after because it's a long story. After the first project I dropped, it was dedicated to 3 people. My grandmother, my cousin Juice, and then my uncle Vito. So this one was dedicated to 3 people that I lost. My grandfather, my daughter, and then my brother Josh. So this one was, that verse was for them 3. So every time I went through that, I just relived me seeing this figure going through this thing. And then I was in a dark space where it all of that broke me down to where I wanted to not be here anymore myself. So and then your lowest moment, I feel like that's when you find God. Like that's when you find who God really is. Like he reveals himself to you. And in that moment, that's what happened for me. At my very darkest moment, that's what happened. So that's what that whole song was about.
yeah. Dude, another song, 15 times. I played it. And he knows. If I'm on something, I'm on it.
Right.
Okay? And I'm listening to it, I'm like, damn. Like I thought I knew you, but I didn't know you.
Right.
You know? And now I hear that song, and I'm like, yo, I can't, it's some things that I got in me that I want to say, I can't get them out.
Right.
For you to be able to get that out like that and make me visualize everything.
Right.
I'm impressed, and I really enjoy it.
appreciate that.
I really enjoy that song.
I don't even
So
like
the
that
Reaper,
song. Yeah, I can't listen to it. Like,
No, that's dope.
You may not wanna listen.
I seriously
I
skip over
understand.
because I go to that place
understand
every
why,
time.
though.
Like, yeah.
But that's what makes music so powerful
Yeah.
because for people that don't make music, we feel that because everybody goes in those dark
Right.
places and a lot of people don't talk about it.
Right.
Nobody wants to really talk about going into a dark place or, you know, you're not comfortable talking about it or
Right.
whatever it may be. So when you make music, it becomes so relatable to people listening
Right.
to it and that's what people gravitate towards. We gravitate towards, like he said, what's relatable.
Right, yeah.
We related to Tupac and he was like, I just couldn't relate to him. I was
Yeah,
relating
yeah.
to Jay-Z. But it's true, we gravitate towards what we relate to.
Yeah, I
Not
think it's
gonna
your
lie.
authenticity.
After
Yeah.
I heard that song, I sat there and prayed at work.
That's dope.
Yeah, it probably brought something.
Nah,
out.
that's
Yeah,
dope.
That's
That's
awesome.
dope.
That's good. That's
Nah,
powerful.
it's the authenticity though. Like I know that everybody's power is being them.
Right.
Like that's the one advantage you have over anybody else. Like
Right.
that you're absolute you. Like not
Yeah.
trying to be somebody else. You just being who you are is your
Your
power.
power.
And I know most people don't live like that. We always try to be somebody else and do it. So me giving out my own truth, I know you're gonna identify with that.
Right.
Because if I give you me, you gonna feel it in your soul. That ain't even no, like you can't deny what's true. Like you can't.
Right.
So yeah, I knew everybody was gonna like that song. Like me, I don't like that song.
I get it.
Yeah.
No, I
don't wanna hear
understand.
that. Yeah, I don't want to hear
So I
that.
guess I understand why.
Yeah.
A little bit, I know. Can you go into the daughter? What was your daughter's name?
Layla.
Layla.
Yeah.
And then your grandfather was on your mom's
Yeah,
side.
Edward J. Planter, and October 31st is the day he passed. So like when you was talking about that, like this is the time, like October is the same for me. Like it's always October
See that
31st.
shit out
But
there,
then
man?
yeah, no, it happened like that though.
Oh.
Yeah.
So my wife's grandma passed this morning,
Mhm.
and both. I haven't shared this with anybody else, but both times that this kind of situation has came about, I was tossing and turning the whole night before, like just couldn't go to sleep, and I just turn over and just look at her and be like, man, I hope everything all right, because I already knew what was going on,
Right.
but I couldn't sleep because I'm knowing like, damn, this the way it's happening right now, the way it's transpiring, like I'm pretty sure she's gonna be in a deep place, and I think I have to be strong for her.
Right.
But I couldn't sleep, so I never told her that. I'm sharing this with everybody here, but it's just when that Reapers, when the song comes on and you go into it, I can see why you don't want to like Reaper. And I'm sorry again for talking
No,
about
it's
it.
all right. I anticipated this. I anticipated talking about the Reaper.
So Layla,
Yeah.
how old was she?
She was 7 months. 7 months. Yeah, my wife was 7 months. But then, now that I really probably ain't gonna get too deep
Okay,
into,
no problem.
but I mean, we were expecting her, and then just out of nowhere, like it just went left. So, yeah, we lost her.
Yeah. I don't know. You lost had like a stillbirth or anything like that before?
No.
You? I did.
But I've had a friend who did, and she was pretty far too. She was pretty far when she did too. It's a really terrible, traumatic situation. I mean, it doesn't go away,
No.
so it's hard.
Before me and Jen got married, she was pregnant, and you know she lost the baby, and we were so happy, you know. It's like, yo, like we'll have this kid, we give him names and stuff, and then she had a miscarriage, and that kind of like messed her up. Like she was like done, right? And then we got married. 2 weeks later, we found out she was pregnant, and now Tristan's here, you know now. But when you think about that, going back, man, in those moments, you like, where do you pull from that strength and you know stuff like that? And guess what? Music. So I thank you for being an artist to find that strength, because I can't pull it out
Right.
somehow, you know. But we always look forward to and he's a you know producer and stuff like that. So when, like I said to him before, listening to his beats, and it doesn't even have to be somebody on it.
Right.
I'm like, man, this soulful should get me through. I don't even need it, you know. Like I don't even need somebody to write on it. But we really appreciate that.
Yeah,
We off the dark stuff. Let's get into something. Let's get into something that I don't even think you even know that I even know.
What? What's that? Yo, what's
always-
this?
he always
yeah,
does.
you
He
used
be
to work for the
surprising
FBI.
us.
You
He's like,
don't
"What,
know.
FBI, man?"
Yeah, you don't
He fed.
know.
He fed.
He does this forever.
Yeah.
Nah, he knows this. Vibe.
Oh yeah,
Vibe.
yeah.
I just call it vibe.
Yeah, you got the vibe. Nah, me and my bro
Yo.
Trizzy Trans, man. Nah, me and my bro Trizzy
that
Trans.
intro video, I can't wait for it to officially drop. That
Yeah,
shit was
man.
dope.
Oh man, I'm excited. So when this come out, the video should be out. The video will be out, man.
Yo.
It's a good. It's
Ooh,
man.
that track is
I
hard.
had that track for over a year, like, and I always knew the hook. Always had the hook. Long
I was
time
kind of
ago.
upset.
All
Like, I
for the-
got to the intro music and it started playing. I was like, "Fuck, man, play the song." man.
I listened to the song.
I listened to the song today too.
Yeah.
You like
Hold it,
that?
I'm holding out. What the fuck?
I sent it in the
You
group
ain't
chat.
listen. You ain't
did?
listen.
He sent the links.
It's
did he?
everywhere.
Dude, he sent the links in the group chat.
Yeah,
Oh, I
it's,
didn't
it's
realize
everywhere.
Too much shit in there, man.
Yeah.
The group chat be so jumbled. Let me tell you something about my group chat with these guys.
Yeah,
and the
all
only
day.
person I'm gonna play is him.
Yeah.
Listen, I got a group. It's worse.
20,000
It'd be
random
worse than my
messages.
girls. I got a group chat with 11 of my girls, 11 of my like literally
Yeah.
about 10 girlfriends. It don't go off like this one.
I'm gonna need Ricky to send.
Baby, it's Ricky.
I'm gonna need Ricky to
Ricky
send
will
one
start
message.
going. He was starting at 7.
Marcel,
Last time I told him,
you gotta
I was
put-
like, you gotta go to 8, nigga. Like I'm asleep.
Marcel, you gotta
kid's
put like an
22.
important,
I don't
like
gotta put
a
nobody on the
priority.
Yo,
We need like a
Like-
priority stamp on certain
why
joints.
do you message them?
No.
Like yo, and he
All
won't
day.
message you one message. Is good morning. Yo, I was thinking.
What about
I was
that?
thinking about.
We meet on this
Y'all,
day.
y'all ready? What time y'all trying to meet up? Like,
What we
bro,
gonna do?
just say, yo, good morning. I was thinking about this, and
Oh
I want to
my
meet up
God,
at this
you
time. Is
crazy.
y'all available for
This
it?
morning I was
It's,
like
it's
this.
like 10 different
I was like,
messages with just that
I
message.
had to turn my group chat on silent. I
What
group
was
chat
that
was
like,
on
bro?
silent.
But what
The
is
messages
your
going
reason
on?
for that?
He
What's
has
my reason
much
for
to do
different
on
text
his
messages?
No,
phone.
for a
He just-
million
he
of
just
them.
up
I'm
and
telling y'all,
thinking.
they let me
As soon
talk.
as he thinks it,
What was
puts it
that
out
American
there.
Pie where the shit just kept going like, you got mail, you got mail.
Yeah,
Yo,
I literally had to put it on silent.
I'm at work, right? And a black man that's sitting in front of the seat, in front of the joint.
Just say you bored.
No, and I can't sit there and text the whole message out because if I do, I'm gonna get caught. So I'm gonna get caught. So I like, boom, 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 and now that's one coming through.
The fact is logic for this.
But yo, it's not like they taking time to like. He's
Nah, he right back with it. You
Yeah,
might as
it's
well
like,
have just
good
wrote the
morning.
whole thing.
like you look at it because you know it's still
trying to
early,
sneak
so I'm
them
not
on
gonna
through.
reply
Right,
back to this.
right.
You put your phone down.
The thing about it is only people, either he responds, I come a little later, he is only here once and there.
Right.
Like here and there, you
That's
can
how I am.
I
Group
shut the whole
messages,
chat
yeah.
down to like every on the hour. I come in.
Yeah, he'll come
I
in like
chime
an
in.
hour.
Right.
He's always like, you quick with the come
That's
back.
because
Sometimes I'd be like, I ain't messing
I'm
with
Right.
up at 6
Right.
o'clock in the morning. I
That's
just
Yo,
don't
but
like to
I
use
ain't
my
text y'all
phone.
this week. See,
But
they
hold
gave me
on.
slack.
He
I
side
do.
text me, so y'all get the text messages in the group chat. When y'all don't answer, I get the private jokes.
I'll ignore it.
Yo, what you doing?
I do. I be like, I ignore it. I
He
be like,
said everything that he said through the
sometimes
message
I feel
right
like
to
I
you.
Crazy
start
because-
to respond more shit.
Because Ricky can send some shit like sidebar, like it's some shit that I feel like, all right, Ricky, this everybody don't need to be part of this conversation. Just sidebar it.
Yo,
So that's the shit we just ignore. Then he
Yo.
throw you back in, and you like, damn, now I gotta reply.
I can't front on you. Keep us on our toes though. So I ain't gonna lie. We definitely
You do.
appreciate that.
You
shit.
are.
I'm about to say,
He is the
just
leader of
more
the group. He is the
communication. That's
leader.
all.
He's the leader.
You keep us on. You
It's
definitely
just
keep
we
us
just
on our
gotta
toes.
teach you.
More
We just gotta
communication.
teach you.
That's all.
The rest of us probably would have talked to the guy
appreciate
on Monday for like 5
Yeah.
minutes before.
I
the
pull
show.
up this back
We don't
here.
even know what the fuck
Right,
is
right.
going
What we
on.
talking
What we
about?
gonna talk
Yeah,
about today?
The only
What
message
even
we
happened
trying
this
to
week?
figure out is
Rick's gonna know what we're gonna talk about tomorrow.
What even happened this week?
the only message we
What happened
the
this
only
week?
message we start off is what's the topics for Monday?
all right, I'm not talking to y'all. I'm
And then I'll
not
be
talking
like,
to
sometimes I'll be like, that's why I was over there, because sometimes I'll be like, I'm just gonna sit in the back.
I'm not talking to y'all.
Yo, why you so sensitive, bro?
Anyways,
We tease you all the time, Rick.
It's that Bill shit.
I noticed that you be rapping on like IG
Yeah.
and like is it be pop-ups or whatever. Are they like just like written and then you just go on and do it, or is it just something like you like, yo, I'm about to like spit this right now?
It's just, man, I think about it right quick and, you know what I mean? Just make a quick video. Put it
Improv.
out. Yeah. Typically a day I go in the studio if I'm just going through old 90s beats or whatever, or a bro come in and be like, yo, you should rap to this, and I just play it. If it talks to me right then, I'd be like, yeah, I got a 16 for this. And then I just memorize it, put it together, rap.
Got you.
Yeah, ain't big.
So,
Just to let people know I could do this. Like, it's really exercise.
So you already got, so do you pretty much got like stuff already written down and you just like, yo, I like this beat, I'm gonna throw this on there, or
Nah,
you gotta listen
never,
to a beat first?
never. Yeah, I listen to the beat first. The beat tell me what to write. Like, the beat tell me what to write.
I see a collabo.
Nah, man, I'm always in need of
Yo.
like that soulful
I'm telling you,
sound.
yo, you gotta start
that's what I'm
paying
saying. You
this
said
man.
that
He might
soulful
10%.
sound.
Yo, you
He's
gotta
10%.
start paying
10%
this
of my
man.
manager.
He your manager,
We got a
A&R.
plug.
We have
Right.
I don't have an artist. He has an artist by the name of Alex.
I don't have an artist either. That's my man.
Yeah,
It's just,
Oh, Alex Anani?
yeah.
Yeah.
I did a song with Alex. He come through the studio. That's my man. That's my man though.
Yeah, we need to.
No, we actually did a song. We got a song.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotta hear that shit.
yeah. It's pretty.
Yeah.
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 Anyways,
I think he's 15% now.
Yep. Yeah.
so the day the album already the first album came out. What was that called again?
1234, The Progression.
Uh,
That was back in 2017.
2017.
No, what?
8, 9?
Nah, what? Yeah, 2010.
10.
That's when I put that out. Then I put out The Storm Is Coming.
The Storm Is Coming.
And then that was 2012.
So we can find those albums where?
Those are still up on Dat Piff. And
Oh, so they're on that pit.
Yeah,
Okay.
those are on Dat Piff. Yeah.
What's-
That's that old. This, oh man.
I still use my dad.
Yeah, I mean, if y'all want to go listen to it, y'all can. I mean,
No, we want all
I'm
of
still
it, though.
talking. Nah, it's the same, but the quality just was way worse back
Gotcha,
then.
understand.
Like, way worse.
So, but people want to hear the progression.
Yeah. I mean, still progressing?
No, I mean we just want to hear.
Oh,
like,
no,
so-
yeah, because that's where it all started.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
That's definitely where it started.
So the name of the title of this album that's coming out.
The next one?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I Love You, Love.
I love you, love.
Love You, Love.
I
Now,
felt like that has to do with something this hoodie he got on that I was gonna ask him.
yeah, here's where he's going.
Oh, man, we going to get all the way there?
Yeah, we go there.
I like it.
Hold on, we
Because you.
we gonna talk about I love you, love, or we gonna go right here?
No,
Which
no, no.
one?
We go. I love you, love.
Okay.
Let's go there first.
I mean, because I know the science behind God is love. Like, period. They're synonymous.
Okay.
So, I Love You, Love is an album that the intention behind it is for you to listen to the music once and then go back and replay everything and listen to it and replace every time I say the word love with the word God.
Hmm.
And it's like, so when you talk about love, most people think about it, you talking about a female or a relationship that way, but God is love. So every time you say it, if you really live like that, it's synonymous whenever somebody says it. That's why it's that serious. So if you're listening to my lyrics, when I say I love you, it's I guide you. So if you treating somebody like God would treat them, like that's serious for me. So yeah, the whole album is designed like that, and it's actually coming along crazy, and I just got inspired. Just exclusive, but I'm probably in album mode right now, like for a different album. It's something different. I Love You, Love is pretty much
The
coming
lyrics get
together.
deeper and deeper. The more
Yeah,
you
yeah,
talk.
I mean, it's still progressing. Like even that whole album, like people don't understand everything about that album. Like it's way deeper than just, okay, he's talking deep music. Like everything about that is really like crafted. Every little insert of that was my brother's eulogy used throughout the whole tape. So every time you heard a snippet of a preacher talking, that was his real life eulogy that my brother sees at the what's it called? Funeral. He's just recording on his phone. I didn't know he was recording it. Came to me like a year later, like, yo, I recorded that junk because I feel like you're going to need it one day. Didn't use it for 4 or 5 years. I stopped rapping for 5 years. So like this was all me coming back. Like this Still Progressing was me coming back from that hiatus, and this was just a release of stress for me from everything that I have been going through. Losing all of those people and being in such a dark place. So yeah, that was just a release.
Awesome. Shit.
I low-key just got chills. I ain't gonna lie.
it's deep, man. It's deep.
He said
Speaking of
on the
music,
IG that people needed to listen to this interview because he had something to say.
Yeah, it's needed to
So
listen.
he's really saying some shit right
That's a
now,
fact.
and I hope that everybody will go out and get this album.
Yeah, yeah.
As we move forward, the shirt, the hoodie.
Oh, Loyalty Life, man. This is the logo. This is trademark. This is ours. You know, spread love. That's what I believe in. Like I say, spread God. Rule number one, spread love, love and loyalty. I got plenty different designs. You know, I switch it up. You know, come, you know, live, learn. You know, yeah, you know, plug. Shameless joint. Yeah, no, but these are logos. It's merchandise that we just do on the side. Like, just, I mean, like I said, it's rule number one, spread love, period. It's not, it's more than clothes. Like, each one has something behind it. Like, that's just how it is. And everyone comes with a...
Make sure we got the links.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to
definitely,
ask,
yeah.
where can they get
Right,
it from? Where can
right.
they get it?
Man, I mean, you can hit us up on Instagram. We have a Loyalty Life clothing page. We have the Facebook, the Loyalty Life clothing. You can hit me up personally, or bro Trizzy Trav, anybody that's a Loyalty Life affiliated. We can get you what you need.
Yo, you know, see, he was you on IG?
When? Probably.
No, was you on IG when you did this? I was looking at. He posted a video of him on IG giving out a CD
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and a free shirt.
Yeah, I posted it over there on what is it? Berkshire, East Amherst and
Right by that
Park Ridge.
store.
Yeah, posted it over there.
I went over there.
Nah, yeah, somebody definitely got it. I left. I was like, man, I come back.
I think
and
I
see
seen
if
it too long. I think like 6 hours later.
I came back like an hour later. Joint was gone. I'm like, man, love to whoever that is. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Nah, that's dope. And
Yeah.
that's different.
Yeah, that's love, man. Like,
and I was just like, damn, missed out.
yeah, because it's a card in there. Like, the card really pretty much sums up the message. So it says, like, imagine if everybody woke up and followed this rule, which it says rule number one, spread love. So it says, imagine if everybody wakes up and follows this one rule. This would be heaven, because we all know God is love. Like, and that's literally the message behind it. It's still pushing that God is love and
Right.
just using that word with that intent. So, yeah,
Wow.
it's more than just a T-shirt. Really changing
see.
the world one thing,
see.
one person at a time.
Hey, that's
You
what
know?
we doing here too,
Yeah,
baby.
no, I understand.
That's what Culture Business is about,
Yeah, it's
baby.
for the culture.
We spreading
It's for the
love.
culture, yeah.
Put on.
Hey, we really trying to put on
I
for the
already
city.
know.
We talked about this a lot as we were into this phase. Shit. I remember the first day we came in here. I didn't even know. I'd never been in
I
this
said,
studio.
this dude was testing me and I didn't even know it. We had like a 2-hour conversation. I'm like, I just interviewed your ass, nigga.
Ricky came with this question.
Right.
With
You
no
got the
pad and
pad,
a question.
the
He always
yeah.
got the pad with him.
Yeah, so what you think about this?
Top five.
Like just flipping pages.
You would be good for this podcast.
No, seriously. Like, but when we first talked about this, he was just like, yeah, do that.
Right.
You know? But he said it so genuine, and I knew. See, he don't get emotional. He don't go too high, too low. So
I get emotional. I just got a good
No.
poker face.
fuck that. I'm like, yo, we gonna get this done. He's like, yeah, we gonna get it done. Yeah, I got this. Yeah, all right, cool. Next thing I know, we talk about doing a damn page, like what was it? The Culture Business page,
Oh, the
website?
website. and
the
shit?
website.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Right.
Oh, he in it. In it.
Yeah.
All right, it's time to go. But when you spread love, when you show the love that he showed to me, we give back. It comes full circle. So that's what this is started on, and I believe that your message is going to be spread throughout the world.
I appreciate that.
And we will be back here again next year talking about some new projects.
Oh yeah, nah.
And on a bigger plane.
Yeah, way more. It's a
Yeah.
lot. It's a lot going on.
Trust, I believe it.
Yeah, it's a
Speaking
lot.
into existence.
Yeah.
What you got?
What you mean what I got?
Nigga, I know you coming like Jordan right now. Don't give him the bullshit. He saved your ass. He came with one of his little good questions he had.
What you mean?
The assist I gave him on the Reaper, like, it was Curry. He was in the clutch.
Right. Yeah, where you at?
I mean, I just don't
Check
write mine
ball.
down. I mean, I'm always
Fuck outta
progressive.
here.
I'm always
I'm always
progressive, dog.
Music wise, what is your message? Like, what do you want the fan first time listening to any project to take away from the music?
I mean, I'm pushing freedom on everybody. That's my message. Everybody being free, like whatever that is to them, is different for everybody. Everybody's freedom looks different, but
Right.
just you at your happiest doing what you love to do and making a way doing that. Like I believe that everybody should be able to achieve that. Like, so that's my biggest message. Like, it's just being you again. Like that's your power. Again, I'm big on everybody just being uniquely them and accepting who they are and just loving that because God made you to be that. So yeah, like that's my message. That's all. Just peace, love, you know. Yeah, all the good stuff. Like all that, I want to change the world. Like yeah.
Would
It's
you consider
terrible.
yourself a gospel rapper or a
Nah.
motivational rapper? Or would you not put yourself in the category of
I'm not
like,
even a
just-
rapper.
You just ran.
Yeah, I'm not even a rapper. I swear I'm not. Like I don't even identify as that. More activist than anything.
Okay.
Music, I just happen to have a way that I can use words. Like I just know I can use them, but I don't see myself always rapping at all. Yeah.
Well, I mean, since all right, so you consider yourself not a rapper but an activist or a broader scale of a person. I mean, as far as a creative, if you got offered a situation musically, would you remain what you are now as independent, or would you sign a deal?
The goal is to remain independent. The goal is because I don't need anybody's to sign me. All I need is a cosign. Like
He's so bad because you're
all I need is my relationships to do what they do. Like I know I have great relationships with people who have influence.
Mhm.
So that's all I need is to be put and given that platform. I don't need anybody to sign me to do that. I'll do the work myself. I've been doing it myself. Like
Okay.
I'm strong enough to do that. Like for real. So like, and I got my own team behind me. So I mean, if everybody on the same page, like I said, freedom is everything. Like I want to be able to live my way, because if I want to take off for a year and do what I want, like my family life is important. Like I'd rather do that. Like
Right,
this
yeah.
takes a lot away from you. Like it robs my children of so much, my wife of so much. Like so, yeah. Like I want my freedom more than anything. Like a deal ain't everything for me at all.
Okay. Do you have what's your, without giving away your game plan, like what's your end game? Like do you have a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan? Like where do you see yourself in the future?
I'm trying to start up a not-for-profit organization for here in Buffalo in the public schools. So that's one of the things I'm doing, because it's all about the community where I come from. Like
That's
I start here
what's the
first.
nonprofit for?
It's for the children, underprivileged children who have anger issues. Like the ones who are the bad kids in school. I want to be able to get those kids early and later. Like, so I want to come an hour early, stay with you, talk to you, like, so you can have a release. Like, because most of these kids' home lives, they don't have a release.
Right.
So they come to school and these teachers all on them like they just being bad for no reason, when, I just seen something at my house that you don't even understand, like my life. Like, so I want them to have that segue, because it is important to go to that, like, learn. It is important to be able to take in information but not carry that stress with you. And also the same way, vice versa, like after school, talk to you for that extra hour, just chill, whatever, and take you home. So that type of thing, I want to get that into all of the schools. Like I want to have that program.
That's dope. Have you also reached out to like after school programs like that to get kids that's there? before you
Yeah,
get
I
into school?
actually
I know
have.
Getting to school can be a pain in the butt.
No, it actually is, and my wife is in the school system, so like I already have my
You already got
segue.
your
I already
game,
know
okay,
the
alright, yeah.
kids and everything, like the administration everywhere, so I pretty much know where it will start. But
Okay.
yeah, it's gonna be called Lending Lives, another play on my L's, so I'll use those same trademark L's for that organization as well. So yeah, man, that's one thing, and then the music. I just want to provide a platform. Loyalty Life is the label. Like we have artists that, like, I think they're terrific. Like I think C's is the most amazing rapper alive. And these are people I look up to. So trying to get their projects out, and I don't see myself rapping too much. Like I might not. I already have a plan to disappear for 3 years and come back with an album called While I Was Away. I kid you not, it's already written down in my book. Like everything that's been in the book came to fruition so far. So like that's a part of my plan because I'm trying to position myself in a way where you know who I am. Like, you know, it's not important for me to be in a spotlight. I don't care about being famous. That's not my thing. Like, so I'm trying to position in a way you know that. So if I get missing, they're like, oh, well, he's just off living life. Like, I'll be somewhere in Africa really trying to make a village better or friends. Like, I'm really one of those people. Like, so yeah, and then I'll come back and talk about it because, as I said, I gotta live life in order to write. Like, I can't stop living
Right.
and write about the things that I write about. Like, I have to go through life in order to talk about these things. So yeah,
That's dope.
and where that takes me, I mean,
I like the fact that you said you write that down. A lot of people say they're trying to do stuff and don't write it down. It's all in their head and they forget it and trying to like.
Yeah, writing it
Yeah,
down. makes a huge
even that
difference.
book, like that book it's an idea for that book because I'm actually writing a book too. Like, Still Progressing, the book is coming out. I'm working on Still Progressing, the documentary. Still Progressing that's my life. Like, it's forever.
Rain got like
When he come back with that, when that book drop, you have to bring you back for that.
Yeah, it's almost like a decoded to Still Progressing. Because what happened was Kyle wrote out all the lyrics, like literally listened to it and wrote down lyric for lyric, the eulogy, everything. And then he just gave it to me after he Xeroxed, and I'm like, yo, I never read it like this, like ever. So I'm reading and I'm like, yo, this is a book. Like, it really tells the whole story, but I want everybody to tell their story behind the verses. So it's really turned into a decoded. But yeah, it's in the book.
Buffalo was talented as fuck.
Yeah, man, the Buffalo is great. Man, Buffalo got some talented people.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely do.
Rick James, Cliff Robinson.
Yeah. Me? You know what I mean?
I was coming. Rain.
If we gonna name them, let's
You know?
say.
Rick James.
Yeah, no,
Yo,
Ricky.
listen, seriously.
Yeah.
So this is it? Is the rain stop or does it keep going?
But y'all want the rain.
Hey, listen, I'm done on my end. You got any questions?
Nah, he answered everything.
I know. No, you answered my question because I was gonna say how you mentioned that you took a 5-year break,
Yeah.
which could mean anything, but
Right.
you decided to come back. What made you come back? Did you plan on like I'm just gonna chill for 5 years, or were you like until you felt it again you came back,
That's a
or
great question. I got in a place where I was living up to what I thought what I should be. Like, you know, I had gotten married, had my kids, had to be the provider, go to work, do this, have a house. I mean, not to say it was bad or good, but that's just what I did
Priorities.
at that time. Yeah, my priorities at that time was this is what it looks like to be a man. Like, so that's what I did. And then with all of those things that happened in between, I was in such a dark place that I didn't even know how else to get out of that place.
right?
So the album kind of just happened. Like, it literally was one day where I just woke up. Matter of fact, it was the day my brother passed last year, May 7th, 2017. No, 16. May 7th, 2016, I just had like this moment of clarity as I was listening to the Allah instrumental. So like I had that, literally I saw everything. Like, it's like, no, detailed. It would take me forever to talk about it, but it was like this.
Right.
So yeah, I saw it and went to the studio that day, literally found the rest of the whole project in a matter of like 10 clicks. Like, oh, yep, that's the one. That's the one. And that never happens. Like, you have to look and search. Like, that never happens where you just find them all. And the whole story is already there.
Find
So,
the pieces.
yeah,
Right.
it's a crazy process. So that happened, and then like it just what got me out of that dark place. It was like, no.
So it's safe to say that it was therapeutic
yeah,
for you.
yeah, it saved my life.
Okay.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like the rain is stopped outside.
Is that the same way?